Chapter 6:29. They laughed crazily and cried pitifully. Grandmaster powerhouses were invincible in the world. How could such powerhouses cry in front of others? Today, the three high grandmasters were sobbing. They could no longer care about their dignity or their manners. Sometimes they laughed wildly. Sometimes they cried. They were crazy. Fong Ping let out a long sigh. After a long sigh, Fong Ping's voice was choked with sorrow. This war? I'm bankrupt. Grandmaster powerhouses should not embarrass themselves in front of outsiders. Crying and grieving were not what powerhouses should do. However, since old Wu and the others did not care about their manners now, there was no need for him to hide anything. Cry, cry. Men should cry. Fong Ping was really sad. He used to think that he might not be able to finish spending trillions of wealth in his lifetime. Now, looking at the remaining 6 million or so points of wealth, Fong Ping was overwhelmed with grief. Before the war, his wealth was more than 120 million points. Now, there was only a fraction left. Chun Yaoting patted Fong Ping's shoulder lightly and said in a complicated tone, "Don't be too sad. Today is a happy occasion." This kid Fong Ping was also a sentimental person. He had been in school for less than 2 years. In these 2 years, there were not many people who died in MCMAU. He did not expect Fong Ping to be so sad. Ironhead's armor disappeared too. He comforted, "Fong Ping, revenge has been taken. Don't be sad." Sob, sob. Fong Ping's heart was filled with endless pain that could not be put into words. You don't understand. You don't understand why I'm sad. After this battle, I'm going to break my bank account. Although everyone did not understand, Ironhead and Chun Yaoting comforted Fong Ping for a while when he was so sad. Revenge has been taken. There are still many things waiting for everyone. Don't be sad. Wu Quishan and the others gradually returned to normal. When they saw Fong Ping's expression, they sighed in their hearts, not knowing what to say. Wu Quishan let out a long sigh. With this sigh, a powerful force spread from Wu Quishan's body. He laughed self-deprecatingly. Hindsight, if he had his current strength, he would not have ended up like this. He would not have nearly let his enemy escape in front of his eyes. Looking at the forbidden sea that was still tumbling not far away, Wu Quishan suddenly laughed, and then soared into the sky, heading straight for the forbidden sea. Fong Ping could not care less about his grief. He exclaimed, "Vice-Chancellor, rumble!" Before he finished speaking, Wu Quishan punched out and blasted a large golden pincer into two. At this moment, Wu Quishan's strength was shocking. "I will only take his head. Demon Kings, please grant my wish." Wu Quishan hollered and turned around to kick the void, breaking a tentacle. He roared once more, "I have no intention of becoming enemies with all of you Demon Kings. I want to offer the heads of the enemies to the dead." Rumble. He didn't know if the demonic beasts in the sea heard him or if they understood him, but they continued to attack him. At this moment, Wu Quishan was so powerful that it shocked Fong Ping. He didn't use any divine weapons. With his bare hands, he punched and kicked, causing the limbs of those demonic beasts to continuously collapse and flesh and blood to fly everywhere. "I only want the enemy's head." Wu Quishan repeated it again and again. Punch after punch bombarded the surface of the sea. On the shore, Old Man Li's aura exploded as well. He roared, "We'll only take his head. Please grant my wish." As soon as he finished speaking, Old Man Li slashed with his sword. Although he did not slash through the void this time, he managed to chop off a tentacle that was shooting toward him. These two powerhouses did not go deep into the Forbidden Sea. Instead, they stayed close to the shore, bombarding the surface of the sea continuously. Just like that, the battle went on for a few minutes. Suddenly, something shot out of the water. Wu Quishan reached out and caught it. Then, he retreated to the shore. Fong Ping fixed his eyes on it. It was a golden bone. Fong Ping also looked at his hand. When he saw that it was a golden bone, he could not help but say, "Vice-Chancellor, this Skygate City Lord's leg bone." Wu Quishan shook his head and said helplessly, "The head was probably swallowed. Only this is left." "No." Fong Ping was stuttering. He could not help but ask, "How did you suddenly become so powerful? You were like a weak chicken earlier." Even with a divine weapon, you could not kill the Sky Gate tree. It was too easy for you to become stronger. Under the sea, there were at least 4 to 5 rank 9 demonic beasts. Although they did not come out of the water, only part of their torsos poked out of the water to fight Wu Quishan. They were definitely not weaker than the Sky Gate tree at its peak. In the end, they were actually scared by Wu Quishan and threw out a leg bone. Were the Forbidden Sea's demonic beasts so cowardly? Did they not know how to swim away? However, thinking about it, these demonic beasts might not have taken away all the imperishable matter clusters. Maybe they were still searching or waiting for new, imperishable matter clusters. It was normal that they were unwilling to leave. Regardless, Fong Ping was still surprised that they were beaten by Old Wu until they admitted defeat. Wu Quishan did not say anything. Old Man Li, on the other hand, had returned to normal. He smiled and said, Old Wu has more control over the origin path. The power that he can activate is also greater. Having said that, he added, to put it more directly, the origin path is a road that is paved by oneself. Early stage rank 9 is like laying a foundation and digging a shovel. I don't know where to pave the road. I don't know how long the road will be. Previously, Old Wu paved the road. It was about 3 to 5 meters long. There was a boulder in the way, so he could not pave it further. Now he blew up this boulder and continued to pave it. In an instant, he paved a long road. If I put it this way, can you understand? Fong Ping nodded. Then he said quickly, that Desperation Realm powerhouse paved this road to the end, and there is no more road in front. That's why many paragons are now starting to pave a second road. This, before Old Man Li could say anything, someone chuckled beside his ear. The road has reached the end. There is no more road in front. However, how far the end of the road is varies from person to person. Some people pave 1,000 meters and feel that the road has reached the end. Some people pave 2,000 meters before reaching the end. Therefore, there are strong and weak paragons. Paving a road does not mean that the more roads paved, the better. A paragon who built 2 1,000 meters roads may not be as good as a paragon who paved 2,000 meters of road. The reason why the second road is paved is to pave the road in front that has no direction, to pave a road that leads to heaven. If there are more roads, maybe a new road will appear in front. Do you understand? I understand. In other words, if your road is 2,000 meters long, the Heavenly King's road is 1,000 meters long. Don't look down on the 2 roads. You don't have to be afraid of him, do you? You, Zhang Tao's tone faltered. Mother of Asterisk Kerr, did I say that? Are you trying to provoke an opponent for me? You want to trick me too? What should I say now? If I say it right, I'll be looking down on the Heavenly King. If I say it wrong, won't I be belittling myself? Before Zhang Tao said anything, Fong Ping said again, Director, you said 1,000 meters and 2,000 meters. Instructor Li just said that the Vice-Chancellor used to walk 3 to 5 meters. I'm afraid it's a lot more now. Let's just say it's 10 meters. Is there such a big difference between him and a paragon? Zhang Tao was a paragon who loved eavesdropping. He must have heard what Old Man Li said. Since he said 1,000 meters, Fong Ping felt that it might not necessarily be an imaginary number. You'll understand when you reach this realm. Director, how far away are you from us now? Fong Ping observed for a while. Zhang Tao was actually not with them. This old man was eavesdropping on them from afar. How shameless! More than 800 li. How much longer until he reaches us? You're really fast. How long will it take to reach us? I have to keep an eye on King Huai now. Understood. Fong Ping nodded. In other words, he would not be going to Sky Gate City for a while. Fong Ping ignored Old Zhang. He could not interfere with Old Zhang's business. He glanced at Wu Quishan and said, Vice-Chancellor, let's go back to Sky Gate City. Wu Quishan glanced at him too. Very quickly, he nodded and said, okay. As he said that, he glanced at Lu Fengru, who was silent at the side. He did not say anything else. He grabbed Lu Fengru and soared into the air, flying in the direction of Sky Gate City. Fong Ping followed closely behind. They used the flight step together. Sky Gate City. The great battle was nearing its end. The sound of killing gradually dissipated. A few Grandmaster powerhouses had sealed off the mineral vein. Some were in the air, releasing pressure and intimidating their surroundings. They did not attack, but it was more intimidating than if they did. The Catacombs Royal City allowed human high-ranked powerhouses to use the flight step to intimidate their surroundings. There was no need to describe what this meant. More and more ordinary people dragged their families and fled from all directions. A large number of martial artists were killed on the spot. The armored martial artists were the targets of everyone in MCMAU. These armored martial artists were military martial artists. They were also the main force in the battle against humans in recent years. These people, whether they were recruits or veterans, were all targets that everyone had to kill. They killed until their hands were tired. The sound of killing gradually faded away. When she swung her sword and there was no one around, Chun Yunshi suddenly slumped to the ground. Her entire body was dyed red with blood. Not far away, Song Yingji was also panting heavily, resting on a pile of corpses. Many people were now slumped on the ground, motionless like the dead. Only their chests were moving up and down. 3 days. The battle had been going on for 3 days. These people had been killing and killing. Even when their vitality was depleted, they still relied on their physical strength to kill the enemy. They no longer had the time to think about how many people they had killed. In the center of the city, Qin Fengqing's legs were weak from all the killing, but he refused to let go of the last rank 6. He was only short of 1 head. This guy could not run away, and he could not let his head be smashed. The sound in the city was getting softer. North of Skygate City, a large number of people were fleeing. No one was in the mood to care. Exhaustion. To exhaustion. At this moment, everyone's spirits were lifted. Skygate City Lord and Skygate Tree have been executed. MCMU's great victory. As soon as these words came out, even those who were slumped on the ground stood up instantly. Then, each of their faces flushed red. Suddenly they shouted, MCMU's great victory! MCMU's great victory! Destroy the city! Destroy the city! Loud shouts rang out, shaking the royal city. Congratulations to MCMU! Congratulations to MCMU! The deafening cheers traveled further and further. Du Hong, who was in the air, did not say a word and went straight to Hope City. Great victory! MCMU's great victory! 2 rank 9s, 2 rank 8s, and 9 rank 7s were killed. Skygate City was destroyed. Very soon, in the faraway direction of Hope City, countless people were cheering wildly. Wild cheers rang out in the entire catacombs. Fong Ping could not care less about other places. Fong Ping, who had landed from the sky, looked around and breathed a sigh of relief. Fortunately, after they left, MCMU did not suffer too many losses, although many people were seriously injured. At this moment, Skygate City was filled with cheers. Fong Ping could not care about the others. Without another word, he went straight to the inner city. While old Zhang was still watching, he had to take away a batch of energy stones first. Fong Ping walked quickly. At this time, nothing was more important than snatching things. Although these things would eventually be used on the Sino Nation martial artists, Fong Ping felt that giving them to himself was the best choice. Underground. As soon as Fong Ping arrived, Huang Jing said immediately, "We've dug quite a lot." Fong Ping glanced at the energy stones piled up like a small hill beside him. Without another word, he kept them into the storage space. Huang Jing's face twitched. What a huge storage ring. Quick, keep digging. Fong Ping was very anxious now. He was going bankrupt. The more he dug, the better. This time he wanted to be corrupt. He did not do this before, but this time he must. He was going to be greedy no matter how much he dug. Instructor Tang, hurry up and call the Vice-Chancellor and the others over. Tell them that if they want to repay their debts, they have to mine to repay their debts. Tang Feng's cheeks twitched. Mine to repay their debts? All right, he would talk to the Vice-Chancellor himself. Who knew if the Vice-Chancellor would vomit blood in anger? Tang Feng left the underground mineral vein very quickly. Not long after, Wu Quishan and the others arrived. As soon as they arrived, Fong Ping said immediately, "Mine? Vice-Chancellor, I've gone bankrupt this time. I've used up all my imperishable substances. I want 80% of the mines dug this time. The remaining 20% belongs to you, and we'll count it as debt repayment." Wu Quishan did not know whether to laugh or cry. He did not say much and began to help dig. When rank 9 powerhouses came to mine, their speed was also extremely fast. Very soon, huge pits were dug in the core area. Other than Lu Polu, who was still maintaining order in the city and intimidating everyone, the rest of the Grandmaster powerhouses were all mining at this time. Time was tight. Once Old Zhang arrived, this matter could no longer be carried out. Not long after, a group of rank 5 and 6 martial artists entered the underground mineral vein one after another. The moment they saw the mineral vein, everyone was shocked beyond belief. Among everyone present, other than Fong Ping, only Li Hansong had seen the situation at the periphery of the mineral vein when he dug a hole with Fong Ping. Even Old Man Li had not seen it before. When he was in gigantic Willow City, he only revived after escaping to the underground pipeline. The others, including Wu Quishan, had never seen such a huge mine before. Just like that, with everyone's help, they dug for about an hour. Everyone felt a strong pressure approaching. Wu Quishan said immediately, "The minister is here. Everyone, go up." As Fong Ping said that, he put away all the energy stones that had been dug out and ran outside immediately. In the sky above Sky Gate City, Zhang Tao stood in the air looking around. Soon, his cheeks twitched slightly. Underground? What were so many people doing underground? Also, the core mineral vein. How did it turn into honeycomb coal? Recalling what Tian Mu had said that day, Zhang Tao suddenly did not know what to say. These people from MCMU were really something. No wonder Fong Ping had asked when he would arrive. It was because of this. When Fong Ping and the others came out, before Zhang Tao could speak, Fong Ping roared, "Minister, MCMU has won a great victory. Today, we have destroyed a royal city and killed 2 rank 9s. Yes, everyone from MCMAU has made outstanding contributions." Zhang Tao spoke loudly for a while, praising them. He was also quite emotional. At this moment, he did not care about how many energy stones Fong Ping and the others had dug out. It was beyond his expectations that the battle would turn out like this. Initially, he actually thought that MCMU might not win. Even if they did win, it would be a Pyrrhic victory. Moreover, there were 2 rank 9s. MCMU most likely could not kill them. He did not expect the final result to be so unexpected. All the high ranks in Skygate City were wiped out. Not just the high ranks. Zhang Tao looked around. At this moment, the huge Skygate City had become an empty city, except for the people from MCMAU. Almost all those who could escape had run away. Those who did not were killed. An intact royal city had been conquered by MCMAU. This was the first time in Sino Nation, including the entire human race. In the past, even if a city was conquered, there would not be such a result. Of course, this was also related to his bet with King Huai. If he had not made a bet with King Huai, this situation would not have happened. Next time, he might not have the chance. King Huai had suffered heavy losses by using subduing King's Origin Chi as bait twice in a row. Next time he was tempted, he would probably not bet with him again. After praising him for a while, Zhang Tao landed on the ground. He looked at Wu Quishan and nodded slightly. Then, he looked at Fong Ping and smiled faintly. "Congratulations." Fong Ping looked embarrassed. He laughed dryly. "Why are you congratulating me? The Vice-Chancellor is still here." Zhang Tao chuckled. "Of course I have to congratulate you. After this battle, everyone in MCMAU will respect you. Everyone will remember your kindness. If I don't congratulate you, who else should I congratulate?" Fong Ping laughed dryly. These words were spoken as if he wanted to seize power. Was he that kind of person? Wu Quishan did not care too much this time. He glanced at Fong Ping, then turned his head to look at his wife. In the next moment, Wu Quishan's action was somewhat unexpected to Fong Ping. Wu Quishan was extremely serious. He said seriously, "Magic City Martial Arts University Vice-Chancellor Wu Quishan, on behalf of MCMU's instructors and students, and on behalf of MCMU's heroic souls, thank Grandmaster Fong." As soon as he finished speaking, Wu Quishan bowed. Fong Ping hurriedly dodged. Just as he was about to speak, Wu Quishan said loudly again, Wu Quishan and Lu Fengru, thank Grandmaster Fong for helping us take revenge. Having said that, he bowed again. Not only him, but Lu Fengru also had to bow. Fong Ping hurriedly dodged. Seeing that Wu Quishan still wanted to speak, he pulled a face and said bitterly, Vice-Chancellor, don't bow 3 times. What was old Wu doing? He was so formal that even he was blushing. How embarrassing. These people were his own instructors. Asking them to bow to him and even call him Grandmaster Fong was embarrassing. It was not over yet. In the city, the instructors and students looked at each other. Soon, someone shouted, Thank you, Vice-Chancellor Fong, for avenging MCMU. Salute! Thousands of people saluted one after another. This time, Fong Ping could not avoid it. He quickly said, Everyone, don't do this. I'm just doing what I should. Beside him, Zhang Tao saw his awkwardness and chuckled. How do you feel? Fong Ping smiled bitterly. He did not know what to say. Zhang Tao said again, The greater the ability, the greater the responsibility, and the heavier the burden on your body. Kid, you've really put yourself in this situation. No one forced you to do this. As he said that, he smiled and said, Let's go to the city lord's mansion. I'll be leaving this place soon. Before I leave, I need to take a clear inventory of the mineral veins. Otherwise, when I leave, there will only be the peripheral mineral veins left. Everyone laughed. Fong Ping's expression did not change this time. Was he that kind of person? He would definitely not dig out all the core mineral veins. He would leave some for him. Old Zhang actually did not trust him. I think it was just thinking. Fong Ping did not say much and followed old Zhang to the city lord's mansion. At this moment, there was Venerable Bug keeping watch here. He did not have to worry about any problems. He just did not know if King Huai had left. Was Zhao still alive? P.S. Damn, the update was late. Chapter 630. City Lord's Mansion. At this moment, the once majestic City Lord's Mansion was now dilapidated. The ground was covered with broken limbs. Everyone looked indifferent. They did not care. The City Lord's Mansion was taller than other buildings. From here, they could see the situation in the city. When Fong Ping and the others arrived, Qin Fengqing walked out from the side, holding a head. His legs were weak, his face pale. I killed this. Fong Ping, I killed 15 rank SAXS. Fong Ping glanced at him. After a while, he said, Weren't there only 7 before? Qin Fengqing said hurriedly, When you weren't here, I killed a few more. This is the 15th. If you don't believe me, I'll go get the head. I hit it. Fong Ping chuckled. Hit it behind the throne? And hit something else? Qin Fengqing, hiding spoils of war is a serious crime. This is not an individual battle, but MCMU's entire school. Tell me, what should we do about this? Qin Fengqing looked pained. He said immediately, I didn't hide it. I collected it and waited to hand it over. Qin Fengqing's words were not wrong. Fong Ping sneered. He did not say anything else. If you were discovered, you should hand it over honestly. Qin Fengqing looked sorrowful. Mother of Asterisk. Why did these people come to the city lord's mansion? Everyone ignored him. Zhang Tao looked around, not in a hurry to say anything else. Instead, he glanced at Li Hansong, then at Wang Jinyang and the rest. After a while, he said, Don't expose divine weapons. You kids, I don't know if I should call you old guys or something. Forget it. I'll just call you kids. You guys have exceeded my expectations. Don't reveal anything about you to others. Previously, Star City invited you. You could take some time to go. Of course, it might not be helpful to you. You guys are a little different from the martial artists who resurrected before. As he said that, Zhang Tao suddenly threw a punch at Li Hansong. Li Hansong's armor appeared instantly. The next moment, Li Hansong flew hundreds of meters backward. Immediately after, a gigantic hand descended. Just like how Buddha captured a monkey, it directly grabbed Li Hansong in its hand. After pinching for a while, the invisible hand dispersed. Li Hansong's armor retreated. His face was blank and gloomy. Why did you hit me out of nowhere? Mystic armor, Zhang Tao murmured. After a long time, he said, "The mystic armor is intertwined with your life force. The ancient martial arts refining technique is more brilliant than I thought. Also, pay attention. Your divine weapons are very powerful, but they also have a huge flaw. Once the divine weapon is destroyed, you will be heavily injured." Using life force to refine weapons. Zhang Tao frowned slightly as he looked at Yao Qingjun and mumbled, "No, you're using your mental strength to refine the weapon." After saying those words, he turned to Wang Jinyang and asked, "You used your blood essence. It's not the same weapon refining method." Zhang Tao was truly surprised. He had assumed that they had used some sort of weaponsmithing technique to refine their weapons. Ancient martial arts practitioner. The ancient martial arts practitioner's method of refining weapons is interesting. Does it vary from person to person? It's not like the current unified refining method. Zhang Tao went on for a while. Fong Ping asked curiously, "Minister, do you know our identities in our past lives?" "I know." Zhang Tao's words made them excited and surprised. Zhang Tao actually knew. Of course, that did not include Fong Ping. Fong Ping's heart trembled. "No way?" Before he could finish his thoughts, Zhang Tao said with a faint smile, "Aren't you the Celestial Emperor? Aren't Li Hansong and the rest generals under your command?" Fong Ping was dumbfounded. CK. Where did you overhear that from? You know this too. Fong Ping was dumbfounded. Li Hansong said excitedly, "He's really the Celestial Emperor?" Zhang Tao gave him a look. Where did this idiot come from? Did he not hear that I was teasing him? Zhang Tao did not bother to pay him any attention. Li Hansong, on the other hand, was inexplicably excited. Wang Jinyang and the rest were speechless. You really understood what old Zhang meant? He was obviously teasing Fong Ping. What was he so excited about? They were all mentally exhausted. Old Zhang too. He made a joke out of nowhere. Ironhead might have completely fallen for it now. Forget it. He had fallen for it long ago, anyway. Fong Ping laughed dryly, cursing in his heart. Eavesdropping maniac. Old Zhang was really shameless, and he was really free. Fong Ping did not even know when he had eavesdropped. There was really no way to deal with this kind of person. Eavesdropping from the top. You could not even stop him. Zhang Tao did not continue this topic. He gave them a simple reminder. As for their divine weapons, they were nothing to Zhang Tao. They were comparable to rank 9 divine weapons. He was only curious about the weaponry refinement method of these divine weapons. After saying that, Zhang Tao asked, "How's the battle damage?" Beside him, Lu Polu said in a low voice, 6 rank, 6 instructors died in battle. 22 rank, 5 instructors died in battle. 97 rank, 4 instructors died in battle. Fong Ping frowned. 125 instructors died in battle. Although they had been prepared for the worst, they still didn't feel good seeing so many of them die. Lu Polu said again, "As for the students, 31 rank, 4 students died in battle. 69 rank, 3 students. 22 rank, 2 students. Rank 2 students died the least in battle because they were mostly responsible for logistics, rescuing the wounded and the like. There were not many rank 2 students who actually participated in the battle. 125 instructors died in battle. 122 students died. 247 people died in battle in exchange for the destruction of a royal city. Was it worth it? No one would say it was not worth it no matter who it was. However, the lives that were still alive a few days ago were now dead in a foreign land. It still felt bad. Lu Polu continued. 37 people died in the military department's instructors group. Fong Ping could not help but ask, why did so many of the instructors group die in battle? There were less than 100 people in the instructors group. Beside him, Luo Yichuan explained. General Du led the military department's people and charged at the front line. There were a few times when the brothers from the military department broke the deadlock and helped us kill the strong enemies. Fong Ping exhaled softly. Du Hong was not here at the moment. He had gone to Hope City and had not returned yet. Fong Ping did not say much when he heard that so many people from the military department died in battle. MCMAU and the military department had a total of 284 people who died in battle. When they set off, the team had more than 5,000 people. Skygate City was destroyed at the cost of less than 300 people. It was a miracle. However, more than half of these 300 people were middle-ranked. In order to cultivate these powerhouses, MCMAU and the military department had spent a lot of effort. To put it bluntly, even if humans destroyed a big city with millions of people dead or injured, it would not be as bad as losing so many powerhouses. Although Skygate City suffered countless casualties this time, with almost all the martial artists killed, the number of middle-ranked martial artists who died would not be more than 1,000. Zhang Tao pondered for a moment and said, "So many people died in battle. It's much less than I expected. However, these people are the elites of Sino Nation. They are the pillars of Sino Nation. Hundreds of people died in battle." Zhang Tao sighed softly and said again, "Collect the remains and transport them back to Earth. When this battle is completely over, the government will hold a memorial service. They are all the sons and daughters of Sino Nation's heroes." Fong Ping and the others did not say anything. This battle was requested by MCMAU. Before the war started, everyone knew that there would be casualties. Now that more than 200 people died in battle, everyone should be mentally prepared. If Fong Ping did not give away a large number of imperishable crystals, the number of middle-ranked and low-ranked martial artists who died in this battle would at least be 3 to 5 times more. It was normal for thousands of people to die. If the high-ranked battle did not end quickly, the casualties would be even worse. Without mentioning the battle damage, Zhang Tao continued, "King Huai has admitted defeat. According to the agreement, Skygate City is the spoils of war. However, Skygate City is actually not King Huai's territory, but Green Wolf King's. However, Skygate City is too close to us. Even if it's destroyed, we won't give them a chance to rebuild the city. As for MCMAU, are you sure you want to keep Skygate City? If you want to take down Skygate City, you might be attacked by powerhouses from other cities." Wu Quishan thought for a while and said, "Even if the giant mine is dug out from Skygate City, the energy is still extremely rich, which is very helpful for martial artist cultivation. It would be a pity if such a big royal city was destroyed just like that. This place is very close to Hope City. The closest ones are Monster Phoenix City and Monster Sunflower City. However, Monster Sunflower City suffered heavy losses this time. I'm afraid they won't be able to continue fighting with us. As for Monster Phoenix City, Wu Quishan still wanted to protect Skygate City. Skygate City was a complete giant city, not smaller than Magic City. The buildings were complete, and the facilities were complete. Moreover, because there was an energy giant mine here, the energy was much richer than in Hope City. If this place was built into a base for MCMAU and a portion of the students were placed here to cultivate in the future, the speed would be extremely fast. There were so many martial artists in Skygate City. Many of them did not have many cultivation resources, but they could still reach middle ranks or even high ranks. This had a lot to do with this. MCMU just won, and with the momentum of a great victory, Monster Phoenix City probably won't dare to send troops now. Zhang Tao said, "Moreover, when I just came, I went to Monster Phoenix City for a walk. The other party probably won't dare to make a move recently. However, if you really want to establish a foothold here, then it's hard to say. As for the government, they still have to guard the passageway. Even if someone comes to station here, they won't send too many people. This place is only suitable as a bridgehead, not a place to station. The passageway was not here, so naturally, they could not station here. Otherwise, the government would not let go of a royal city. As for MCMAU, it's best to think carefully. There's no rush for now," Zhang Tao said for a while, then said, "But the giant mine must be dug out immediately. We can only dig it out, we can't leave it behind. Once the giant mine is left behind, it's a road to death. The other cities, including the restricted areas, will not let go of this giant mine." Fong Ping also knew that humans were not suitable to leave behind giant mines. Although there was no way to regenerate it after digging it out, it was better to dig it out than to keep it and provoke the enemy. However, when he thought of the incomparably huge mineral vein below, Fong Ping still had a headache. He said, "Minister, this mining work is not something we can do. Why don't you help to dig it out?" Zhang Tao gave him a look and did not refuse. Instead, He nodded and said, "All right, I'll do it later and let Hope City's military department come and take it. On your side, take the remaining mineral resources as soon as possible to avoid any accidents." It's not just the mineral resources. Skygate City is a royal city. There are countless good things. Take them away as soon as possible. Their armory and herb fields must be taken away as soon as possible. Leave behind an empty shell of the city. This way, the other parties won't have too much desire to attack. Everyone nodded. After discussing these matters for a while, Fong Ping quickly asked, "Minister, is Jiao still alive?" "I don't know." Zhang Tao was a little amused. "You've really screwed these few monsters over this time." The elephant beast was slow and was the first to be caught. King Huai was unable to restrain his anger and directly crushed it. The golden ant beast was also crushed before it could cross the boundary river. On the other hand, Jiao and the sheep beast crossed the boundary river, but the probability of survival is not high. King Huai attacked from a distance and directly crushed the golden bodies of two monsters. There are also many demons over there. Two monsters whose golden bodies were destroyed went in, and it was a dead end. Fong Ping said with a sigh, "What a pity! A pity that they couldn't be made into divine weapons." Zhang Tao said with a smile. Fong Ping shook his head and said, "That's not it. No matter what, they were the heroes of MCMEU's great victory in this battle. Although everyone had their own objectives, these few monsters did help a lot. Now 2 are dead and the other 2 are disabled." Sigh, "My heart doesn't feel good." Zhang Tao and the others looked at him. "Are you sure? Are you sure you're grieving for them? Are you sure you're not regretting that you couldn't take their bodies?" Fong Ping coughed softly. "Don't look at me like that. If I really wanted to kill them, I wouldn't have given them the imperishable substance when I left. I still hope that these monsters are alive. If they're alive, based on what King Huai did this time and 100 Beast Forest abandoning them, there's going to be a good show. Zhao most likely won't find trouble with me first. It'll probably kill the monsters in 100 Beast Forest first. Let them mess around for a while." When he mentioned this, Zhang Tao remembered and chuckled. "You have a lot of imperishable substance." Fong Ping suddenly punched himself. He spat out a mouthful of blood, and his chest exploded. Everyone was surprised. "What are you doing?" Fong Ping waited for a moment, then looked at Zhang Tao and said, "I've used it up. Minister, help me recover it." Zhang Tao frowned slightly. After a while, he said, "I've said it. It doesn't matter if I know or not about some of your secrets. The premise is that you stand on the side of humans and not betray them. On the premise that you don't betray humans, you're all heroes of humanity. I, Zhang Tao, have come this far. I don't care about some small benefits and spoil my own conscience. Kid, it's right to be vigilant, but if I really want to deal with you, I can destroy you with a finger. Do you understand?" Fong Ping nodded and said, "Minister, I'm injured." Zhang Tao felt a little helpless. "Did I say it for nothing?" He ignored him. Zhang Tao was about to speak again when Fong Ping suddenly asked curiously, "Minister, is the difference between rank 9 and Paragon really that big? Jiao's physique is comparable to rank 9, right? They crossed the Forbidden Sea tributary and even had their golden bodies destroyed by King Huai's attack. Isn't that too powerful?" The strength of a paragon was beyond Fong Ping's imagination. The Forbidden Sea tributary was at least 1,000 meters wide. In fact, since Jiao and the others had crossed the river, they must not have run that far. Fong Ping asked again, "How far away did King Huai's golden bodies explode?" "Almost 10,000 meters." Fong Ping was dumbfounded. What a joke! From 20 li away, he destroyed a demon's body that was comparable to a rank 9 golden body with a punch in the air. Were you beating up a child? Was a paragon really that powerful? Zhang Tao saw his dumbfounded expression and laughed. The so-called paragon is the end of the path. Strictly speaking, in terms of the realm, it's the difference between rank 6 vitality unity and rank 6. But in terms of strength, the difference is even bigger. It needs to be replaced by early stage rank 6 and early stage rank 7. Can you understand if I put it this way? Fong Ping gulped. Wu Quishan could not help but ask softly, "Minister, is the difference that big?" Doesn't that mean that a paragon can kill a rank 9 easily? How many moves would a rank 7 Grandmaster need to kill an early-stage rank 6 martial artist? This question was difficult to answer. One move? Or directly shocked to death by mentality? Rank 9s are also divided into strong and weak. It depends on how much they have comprehended the origin Tao. But the difference is huge. Then, can a rank 9 martial artist kill a paragon? A paragon is also a rank 9. You should ask if anyone below the paragon can kill a paragon? Zhang Tao chuckled. The possibility is not high. Even if Li Chongqing really cultivated his vitality to a peak, cultivating it to 100,000 calories or 200,000 calories, he can forget about killing a paragon. Let's put it this way. When that time comes, although his vitality is strong, a desperate state can suppress his outburst and disperse his strength. If you slash out 200,000 calories vitality, you can only hurt a paragon with a few tens of thousands cal, or even less. Can you kill a paragon? If I stand here and let him slash at me, he can forget about breaking my body easily. Old Zhang was very confident. With the small crack that Li Chongqing had created now, even if he stood still and did not move, he could at most leave a bloody mark on Li Chongqing's body. This was already the limit. Beside him, Old Man Li curled his lips and continued to be arrogant. Wait until I cultivate 1,000,000 cal vitality. Then you can be arrogant. Fong Ping, on the other hand, said thoughtfully, what if what teacher slashed out was not vitality force, but destructive force? As soon as he said that, Zhang Tao focused slightly and said, then it would be terrifyingly powerful. Vitality force is card, celestiality is Luan, and destructive force is vitality. A Luan is equivalent to a 500 calories vitality outburst. As for vitality force, Fong Ping kept looking at him. When he saw that he had stopped, he said hurriedly, destructive force is vitality. Vitality is the beginning of all things. Isn't that an exaggeration? It's just a unit of measurement. You don't have to worry about this. Zhang Tao laughed. I thought you were ignorant and incompetent, and you would tell me that this is a unit of money. Fong Ping's face twitched. What did he mean? Old Zhang was too much. I'm ignorant and incompetent. I'm ignorant and incompetent. Can I get into MCMAU? Zhang Tao laughed and continued. Vitality force is equivalent to 10C celestiality. Moreover, you know about destructive force yourself. It's more destructive and has other uses. The advancement of a martial artist's realm is also an advancement of the level of strength. Nowadays, when martial artists reach the high ranks, most of them use celestiality. Actually, ancient martial artists don't seem to be like this. When real ancient martial artists reach rank 8, they should be using destructive force. Or in other words, when that time comes, ancient martial artists don't really care about the types of strength. Instead, strength is the only thing. Whether it's cultivating the physique or mentality, in the end, strength is still the only thing. Destructive force might be the ultimate strength. The unit of destructive force is vitality, the source of strength, the beginning of strength, and the end of strength. Zhang Tao's words matched up with Fong Ping's earlier guess. As expected, Absolute Peak knew more than he did. Looking at Zhang Tao's expression, he was probably certain. If Li Chongqing really converted his strength into destructive force and grew endlessly, then he would be much stronger than he is now. Zhang Tao concluded. Fong Ping did not ask further. At this time, Zhang Tao said again, let's not talk about other things. I'm going to start mining now. Otherwise, once I leave, I'm afraid there will be some trouble. When everyone heard that he was going to mine, they all nodded. If this thing was not taken away, everyone would not be at ease. In the end, although Zhang Tao said that he was going to mine, he did not move. Just when everyone was puzzled, Zhang Tao suddenly roared. This roar caused the earth to tremble. In the direction of the inner city, at the entrance of the mine, there was originally a big pit. That was where the sky gate number took root. At this moment, following Zhang Tao's roar, a crystal-clear mineral vein that looked like a long dragon slowly soared into the sky. Rise! Zhang Tao roared again. In the next moment, the long crystal dragon flew slowly toward the direction of Hope City. If one did not look at the holes on the long crystal dragon, this scene was enough to be remembered for a lifetime. However, when they saw the large number of holes on the long crystal dragon, some of the MCMAU instructors and students in the city twitched their mouths. What an ugly crystal dragon. Some people did not know the situation and thought that the royal city's mine looked like this. For a moment, they were shocked by the number of high-ranked energy stones and despised the aesthetic standards of the catacombs powerhouses. How did the mineral vein become like this after mining? Couldn't they just mine it properly? Fong Ping did not care about this. Watching the long dragon fly out, he could not help but say, "Minister, we still have 30%. I know. We'll split it when we reach the ground. Send it to Hope City first." Fong Ping breathed a sigh of relief. Then he gulped and said, "Minister, you're amazing. Although it's only the core mineral vein, it's at least 100 tons. You can even control it with mentality." Amazing! At this moment, Zhang Tao was lifting the core mineral vein, but it was at least 100 tons. To use mentality to control something that weighed 100 tons and send it to Hope City, which was 70 to 80 li away, this ability was really scary. Looking at Zhang Tao, it did not seem to be very difficult. As Zhang Tao flew forward, he said, "There are still 100 tons, but it's filled with a lot of energy crystals. There aren't many real high-ranked energy stones." Fong Ping naturally knew this. Mining mineral veins meant removing the energy crystals. Even so, there were still a lot of high-ranked energy stones. While flying, Fong Ping said, "There are 50 tons of high-ranked energy stones, right? More or less. MCMU gets 15 tons? Zhang Tao glanced at him. After a while, he nodded and said, "More or less." Behind him, Chen Yaoding and the others also flew over. When they heard this, they were a little stunned. They were starting to calculate the energy stones in tons. Only 30,000 caddies. Fong Ping sighed softly. The core mineral vein is too small, even if it's all rank 9 energy stones. Right now, martial arts universities only set the price of rank 9 energy stones at 600,000 per gram. One caddy is only 300 million. 30,000 caddies is 9 trillion. Moreover, not all of them are rank 9. There are many middle and low-ranked ones mixed in. There are even rank 7 and 8. If I calculate it like this, can it be 5 trillion? Zhang Tao suddenly did not want to speak. "What's with your tone?" When I saw this mineral vein, although I didn't show it, I was actually laughing in my heart. "What do you mean by that dissatisfied expression of yours?" "A huge mine? In my life. I've seen it, but I've never taken it. Do you know how many years of cultivation a huge mine like this can supply Sino Nation martial artists? Do you know how much the Sino Nation government has in reserve? You get 30,000 caddies, I get 70,000 caddies, 70,000 caddies. Star Town's 13 paragons, the city has been established for 300 years. This is probably the amount of energy stones harvested together. Just like that, it has provided for thousands of people in Star Town for 300 years. MCMAU gets 30,000 caddies. This time, MCMAU has conquered Sky Gate City. Otherwise, Zhang Tao would not have said that MCMAU would get 30%. Even if he did not give this huge mine to MCMAU, no one would say anything. It was true that MCMAU conquered Sky Gate City, but conquering the city did not mean that the huge mine belonged to MCMAU. This huge mine was the bet between Zhang Tao and King Huai. Otherwise, how could the survival of 2 rank 9 martial artists be compared to his, Zhang Tao's, ultimate technique? Strictly speaking, this was his Zhang Tao's. However, as the victor, he would only get to take the huge mine if MCMAU won. Giving MCMAU 30% was also what he had agreed on before. He thought that MCMAU would be so happy, but now, this Fong Ping kid was not satisfied. Zhang Tao suddenly wanted to smack him to death. Fong Ping continued, "Let's just decide on a value of 5 trillion. Of course, there are many low-rank mines in the periphery, but those things, 1, are difficult to mine. 2, we can't really excavate them all. If we do, Sky Gate City will be ruined. You still want 70%. If we excavate some, we'll be at most able to dig up a mine worth 1 trillion. That way, it's only 6 trillion. There are some other gains in the city, a lot of them. Added up, it's only about 1 trillion. Let's just say it's 2 trillion. That way, after this battle and destroying a royal city, we'll only get a harvest of 8 trillion? 5,000 people. How much can one person get? On average, it's 1.6 billion per person. Zhang Tao was already stunned. Let me think about it. A battle of 5,000 people, 1.6 billion per person. This kind of war. If it was possible, he would be willing to launch a war of 100 million people. And now, a certain fellow was nagging behind him. What was he trying to say? What was he trying to say? Fong Ping did not want to say anything. He only calculated for a while and felt that Zhang Tao should give a little more to MCMAU. At the thought of this, Fong Ping said again, "Why don't you take a little less and give us 10 trillion? Get lost." Zhang Tao could not hold it in anymore. His mentality erupted, sending Fong Ping flying thousands of meters away. Mother asterisk Kerr, this is too much. I didn't even settle the score with you when you stole the mine. You guys even killed the Skygate tree, and he didn't say anything. Now you want me to give you a little more. How much do you want? Why don't I just give it all to you? MCMU only has so few instructors and students. If you want so many mines, don't tell me you want to plant mines under MCMAU. While he was still thinking, Fong Ping, who had been sent flying, said loudly, "Minister, it's best if you leave us an intact section of the mineral vein. I want to see if the MCMU mineral vein is okay." The entire city was so quiet that it could not be any quieter. Was he really good at plant mines? Let MCMU become like Royal City. At this moment, the eyes of the teachers and students were glowing. Then why would they need medicinal pills to assist their cultivation in the future? Did they not see that the martial artists in the catacombs did not use medicinal pills at all? Because they did not need it. Which martial artist living in Royal City needed medicinal pills to cultivate? Even if they were poor, they did not have to worry about martial arts not progressing. It was just a matter of speed. That was only for the martial artists in the outer city of Royal City. The martial artists in the inner city had extremely fast cultivation speeds. Was this not equivalent to cultivating in the energy room every day in the future? In front, Zhang Tao did not say a word. This kid was too extravagant. Was he going to make MCMAU the second sacred place in Star Town? There were only a few thousand people in Star Town, but there were 50 to 60 grandmasters alive now. Moreover, a portion of them did not have high cultivation qualifications. All of this had to do with their rich resources. MCMU was not a family clan. This was a school that had accumulated the most outstanding batch of people out of more than 1 billion people. With the same amount of resources, MCMU might be able to produce hundreds of grandmasters. Of course, it would take time to accumulate. Zhang Tao began to calculate whether to give it to MCMAU. If it was too much, how would the other martial arts universities survive in the future? No, it would be hard to survive in the education ministry. Should I say halfway that it was robbed by Li Jun? Zhang Tao calculated in his heart. Should he do it? As for MCMU's revenge on Li Jun in the future, it would be better to leave the pinnacle first. Even if they left, they might not be Li Jun's match. Li Jun would probably be very willing to be the scapegoat. I underestimated the reserves of Sky Gate City's giant mine. I thought it would be used up after all these years. Zhang Tao felt helpless. If he had known, he would have said 10%. Zhang Tao ignored Fong Ping and steered the Crystal Dragon toward Hope City. Fong Ping did not follow, but he sent Tang Feng and Huang Jing to keep an eye on them and not let them embezzle. As for himself, he stayed behind to clean up the battlefield. He had to get all the spoils as soon as possible. Chapter 631. Inside the city. Everyone began to clean up the battlefield. Fong Ping, on the other hand, received the list of casualties. When he saw the names, both familiar and unfamiliar, flashing by, Fong Ping suddenly lost his excitement. In the distance, Zhang Yu leaned against the wall, spacing out. Further away, Xie Lei was hugging his knees, like an abandoned puppy, curled up in a corner. Zhang Ziwei had died in battle. Fong Ping only knew that Zhang Ziwei had died in battle. CLA and Zhang Ziwei were a couple that everyone in MCMAU envied. Same year, same class, same instructor. One was a thrice-honed, the other a twice-honed. One was a middle stage rank 5, the other a middle stage rank 4. Fang Ping remembered Zhang Ziwei very clearly. When the special training classes first started, he had challenged Zhang Ziwei and injured her. He also remembered that she had been injured in the chest. That girl had been so angry and annoyed at that time. Fang Ping suspected that CLA wanted to snatch the position of president from him because he had injured his girlfriend. Of course, CLA did not challenge him when his rank was low. Other than Fang Ping, he was the only thrice-honed martial artist in MCMAU. He had his own pride, and he did not want to bully the weak. Now his girlfriend had died in battle. This couple that everyone envied had gone their separate ways. Jin Lei, Guosheng, the familiar names made Fang Ping lose a lot of interest. Less than 300 casualties, a great victory. A great victory, but this was more than 200 lives? The joy of victory might excite those who had nothing to do with it. But how could those who had lost their loved ones and friends be excited? Chen Yinshi walked over from the side. Seeing that he was looking at the casualty list, she said softly, "People die in war." Fang Ping looked at her and said suddenly, "What if we lose this time? You all worship me, admire me, thank me. Do you know that I'm actually gambling with the lives of everyone in the school? Gambling on victory. Gambling that we can win. If Jiao doesn't join the battle, the result might be reversed. Right now, we're the ones who lose. That's how war is." Chen Yinshi did not agree with him this time. She said seriously, "Humans are weak. In every war, as long as there's a chance of winning, no matter how small, it's worth the gamble. Don't we know? We know. Don't the teachers know? They know. He even knew about Minister Zhang. There is no sure-win war. We are the weak. Even if we are the strong, there is still the possibility of failure." Everyone knew this, but everyone did it without hesitation. Humans were inferior to the catacombs. If a full-scale war were to break out, humans might perish. Did the minister and the others know that? But they had no second thoughts. They were also gambling with the fate of mankind. But what else could they do? Sit and wait for death. Fang Ping, we only need results. If the results are good, that's enough. If you don't do it, who knows if you can win this war? You've already done very well, so well that it's beyond our imagination. You've done so well that even Department Head Zhang and the others feel that you're very powerful. The deaths of the students and teachers aren't your fault. At this time, you can grieve, but you can't give up. You can't be afraid just because someone died and feel that you shouldn't do it. Fang Ping looked at her deeply for a while. After a while, he suddenly laughed. "I didn't realize that you were so talkative." Chen Yunxi suddenly blushed. After a while, she stammered, It's the vice-chancellor and the others. They said that you might have some thoughts now, so they taught me to say it like that." Fang Ping could not help but laugh. He said helplessly, "Vice-chancellor. Forget it. Let's not talk about him." Having said that, Fang Ping looked at CLA in the distance and said softly, "Zhang Ziwei died in battle. He's probably very upset. Yunxi, tell me." Chen Yunxi shook her head abruptly. "You'll be fine. If one day I also die in battle in the catacombs." "Yunxi, listen to me." Chen Yunxi looked at him and smiled brightly. "Martial artists don't shy away from death. No one knows if that day will come. If I really die in the catacombs, don't cry for me, don't grieve for me. Because in my impression, Fang Ping has always been the strongest man. He won't give up his dreams and hope just because his family is average. He's like grass struggling and growing in the mud. If he feels that he can grow into a towering tree, then he will grow into a towering tree. For the sake of cultivation, he can smile cheekily and peddle his pills. For the sake of the teachers, he can humble himself and please others. For the sake of everyone, he can give everything he has. He won't cry when he's injured. No matter how serious his injuries are, he will always smile. A man like this shouldn't cry or grieve because of a woman. This is the Fang Ping I like, not the Fang Ping who's depressed because of a woman. If I really die in the catacombs, just remember to avenge me. Kill more enemies. Kill them until they're terrified. Kill them until they don't dare to invade the human world anymore. Then you'll be my great hero, a great hero that no one can surpass. This Fong Ping is the Fong Ping that I, Chen Yunxi, should love. Fong Ping looked at her for a while. After a long time, he smiled. I won't die. I won't. The catacombs will be conquered sooner or later. In the future, I won't have to live in such a precarious situation anymore. You put me so well that I'm embarrassed to refute you. All right, you don't have to comfort me. I'm not that weak yet. Death isn't scary. What's scary is that death is worthless. So, don't die easily. I'm the leader, the celestial emperor. A little setback won't make me doubt myself. Chen Yunxi seemed relieved. She smiled quickly and said, then I'll go clean up the battlefield. And go ahead. After Chen Yunxi left, a few silhouettes appeared. Fong Ping chuckled. Instructors, am I that weak? Maybe a little sad, but not to the point of self-denial. Wu Quishan looked at him for a while and sighed softly. This is the first time you've experienced this. I've seen many dead people. Fong Ping said calmly, destroying Sky Gate City, avenging the blood feud, reaping great rewards. Only by cultivating more powerhouses will fewer people die. I understand this principle. To put it more realistically, the people who died today were not my relatives, not my girlfriend, so I think it's acceptable for people to die. If there's such a day, and my relatives die in the catacombs, please wake me up, Vice-Chancellor, so that I can pull myself together and take revenge. I won't be dispirited. Yinchi is right. I'm just a blade of grass in the mud. I'll only become stronger and stronger, not more useless. In the crowd, Chen Yaoding smiled faintly. My granddaughter has said what she needs to say. Don't you have anything to say? Fong Ping glanced at old Chun and smiled. Yes, I have. I've thought about it. When I'm at the top, I'll marry her. What do you think? Chun Yaoding cursed under his breath. Are you kidding me? When can you, kid, become a top? Everyone could not help but laugh, sweeping away the sadness from just now. After a war, it was inevitable to feel sad when they saw their comrades die in battle. However, as powerhouses, the weak could be sad, but they could not. At least, they could not show it in front of others. Today, Fong Ping was not only the student leader, but also one of MCMU's pillars. Everyone believed in him. They believed that he could lead MCMU to a better place. If they did not believe in him, would Zhang Tao let him start a war like this? He would use the Origin's unique art as a gamble. Wu Quishan and the others also believed in him. Even though he was young, he would bring them miracles. Now a miracle had happened. Therefore, nothing could happen to Fong Ping. If anything happened to him, the confidence built up in this war would collapse instantly. Looking at everyone's expression, Fong Ping suddenly revealed a narcissistic expression, a little intoxicated. I didn't know that I'm already so important that the school doesn't have a vice-chancellor. It's not a problem at all. Wu Quishan did not know whether to laugh or cry. Lu Fengru, on the other hand, was all smiles. You're more important than him. There was no other reason. Fong Ping killed the Sky Gate City Lord. Lu Fengru felt that no matter how strong Wu Quishan was, he was still useless. At the end of the day, the one who avenged her was still Fong Ping. Wu Quishan was really helpless. What was this? Was he despised? He was now stronger than before. He had walked a distance on the Origin's path. In Rank 9, the division below the top was very vague. The division was actually based on how far one walked on the Origin's path. The further one walked, the stronger one would be. It was not called a middle or upper stage. It was just a simple division. If he walked far on the Origin's path, it meant that his combat strength might surpass many of the older Rank 9, even if he did not have a divine weapon. He was such a powerful figure, yet he was despised. There was no justice in this world. After a few jokes, Fong Ping coughed softly. Just as he was about to speak, Wu Quishan suddenly laughed. No matter what, the annihilation of Sky Gate City was also completed during my tenure. Fong Ping, you have to work hard. During my tenure, I've made such a great contribution, annihilating a royal city. If you, Fong Ping, really become the vice-chancellor, What kind of contribution do you have to make? Annihilate a catacomb or annihilate the restricted area? Fong Ping's expression stiffened. Old Wu stole the credit. However, there was no way to reason with him. After all, Old Wu was the vice-chancellor. In order not to let Old Wu celebrate too early, Fong Ping chuckled. Vice-chancellor, it's time to settle the score. This time, let's count it as 8 trillion. I want a dividend. According to the contribution ratio, I want 20%. 6 trillion. Fong Ping said, and then added, so, that mineral vein, 1/3 of it is mine. The few grandmasters looked confused. What did he want to do? I'm planning to build a big house made of energy crystals on this 1/3 of the mineral vein. In the future, I'll eat, drink, defecate, and sleep there. Fong Ping. Old Man Li wanted to say something, but stopped. What are you doing? MCMAU didn't say that you can't cultivate. Why do you have to calculate it so clearly? Fong Ping said with a serious expression. Public is public, private is private. You have to distinguish between public and private. After all, MCMU doesn't belong to anyone. Right now, the Vice-Chancellor is the Vice-Chancellor. What if the Vice-Chancellor becomes the Vice-Chancellor? What if Minister Zhang arranges for someone else to be the Vice-Chancellor? When it's time to settle the score, we still have to do it. Vice-Chancellor, don't you think so? Wu Quishan pondered for a moment, nodded and said, yes. After saying that, he said, I'll explain the situation to Minister Zhang. In this battle, you have the most credit. 20% is not much. When Fong Ping heard that, he smiled immediately. That's fine. Of course, I'll still bury the mineral vein under MCMAU, but it still has to be cut open. Without my permission, I won't let anyone enter my mineral vein to cultivate. Everyone could not help but laugh. They did not want to say anything. Fong Ping said again, as for the mine that was dug out earlier, we agreed to split it 80-20. I'll take 80%. The remaining 20% is gone. Everyone was stunned. Why was it gone? Zhao's appearance fee. I had no choice. I spent too much imperishable substance on Zhao's side. Now that we don't know if Zhao is dead or alive, as a middleman, I have to help it save it. It also has to pay me back, so it's canceled out. Beside him, Old Man Li did not know whether to laugh or cry. How much did you dig out earlier? Not much. Just about 2 tons. How much is that? All the rank 9 energy stones are only 1,200 billion. Not to mention, half the price is 600 billion. 20% is only 120 billion. It's not much. Everyone stopped talking. Fong Ping continued. As for the Tianmin tree's carcass, Instructor Li, your share will be considered interest. Old Man Li's face was blank. Interest? He did not even pay back the capital? Fong Ping said very seriously. It can only be considered interest. The debt is still owed. He had no choice. Most of the money that Old Man Li owed had actually been calculated for his wealth. The things that had been calculated for wealth, even if they were returned to him now, it would not be considered a net increase. But the interest, that would be his extra gain. Seeing that Wu Quishan was about to speak, Fong Ping chuckled and said, Vice-Chancellor, you've also contributed previously. Your share can be considered as vitality recovery pills, golden body pills, and other things plus interest. You still have to continue to owe me the 100 billion you owe me. Wu Quishan was mentally exhausted. He did not want to speak. If I calculate it this way, I'll get 6 billion of the ores. The 600 billion ores on my side are all mine. Also, the Tianmin tree's carcass and life essence are all mine. If I calculate it this way, it's not much. It's only about 5 trillion. Fong Ping rubbed his chin and calculated for a while. He had only earned double. As for the imperishable crystals and the rest, he did not care. Those were all converted from wealth. Even if they were converted into money and given to him now, his wealth would not increase. After destroying a royal city, he had actually gotten so little. There were so many people here. After splitting the spoils, he would indeed get less. If he had destroyed the royal city alone, it would all be his. That would be making a fortune. What a pity. However, 20% of all the spoils was already his limit. If he asked for more, that would make others think that he was too greedy. He was not that kind of person. Moreover, Zhang Tao might not agree to it. Sigh. Fong Ping sighed. His wealth had only doubled. It was not much, but that was not right. Fong Ping suddenly remembered. He had even gotten more than 200 billion worth of resources. If he calculated it this way, that would be 3 to 4 trillion. Fong Ping licked his lips. If he calculated it this way, then he had earned quite a lot. As for Old Man Li and the rest, they looked dazed. Fong Ping did not care about them. You don't have to care about what I'm doing. The things are mine anyway. I have to calculate it clearly. If MCMU really became his, Fong Ping's, private property, then he would not care about this. However, since it was not, of course, he had to calculate it clearly. Although Fong Ping said that the splitting of the spoils was over, the system did not increase his wealth. Fong Ping knew that it was probably because the calculation had not been completed. When the calculation was completed, there should be no problem. He took a look at his own data wealth. 1 million points vitality, 17,000 calories, 17,009 calories, mentality, 2,000 hertz, 2,145 hertz, destructive force. Bone honing, 177 bones, 100%, 29 bones, 90%, storage space, 100 cubic meters, plus, energy shield, 1 point/minute plus, aura simulation, 10 point/minute plus, there's not much wealth left. I have to calculate it as soon as possible. After muttering in his heart, Fong Ping said, Instructor, if we don't give up Sky Gate City, then we need a powerhouse to guard it. Wu Quishan saw that he was looking at him and said with a speechless expression, What do you mean? Vice-Chancellor, the capable do more work. It's the same no matter where you cultivate. Isn't it better here? You're MCMU's pillar now. If you're here, then we can intimidate everyone. What's the point of starting a war with a powerhouse like you? For an empty city? The catacombs martial artists are very practical. It's impossible for them to start a war with you for something that doesn't benefit them. That's why this place can become our base, because you're here. Even Instructor Li can't do it. His vitality is depleting very quickly. The others aren't afraid of him. Moreover, you can guard this place alone. The school's grandmasters don't have to come. Wu Quishan was mentally exhausted. You want to exile me? You want to exile the principal who's in charge? You're a really black-hearted kid. He looked around. His wife looked indifferent. Old Man Li looked approving. And even Lu Pulu was nodding nonstop, thinking that this was a good idea. Sigh. Wu Quishan let out a long sigh. I haven't even said anything, and I'm already exiled. As for Old Huang and Tang Feng, there was no need to ask. They probably had no objections. I'll guard this place. Then the school, Fong Ping smiled. You're often in closed-door cultivation in the school, so you don't have to worry about it. Vice-Chancellor, I'll ask the instructor to visit you when she's free. Lu Fengru glared at him. What did this kid mean by that? Wu Quishan did not know whether to laugh or cry. Motherf asterisk Kerr, do I need your permission to visit me? That's not right. Am I just going to guard this place silently? Fong Ping did not give Old Wu a chance to make things difficult for him. Very quickly, he walked down the mansion and headed into the city. Along the way, greetings of Vice-Chancellor Fong rang out incessantly. Of course, most of them were students. The instructors usually did not greet them. Even so, over at the mansion, Wu Quishan was still shaking his head. Vice-Chancellor Fong? What kind of Vice-Chancellor Fong was this? He was just a trainee, but he was more authentic than him, the real deal. There was no justice in this world. Sigh. This kid really sees power. A rank 7 sees power from a rank 9. Am I considered the most cowardly rank 9? Beside him, Chen Yaoding said disdainfully, You're still pretending to be innocent after taking advantage of the situation. If you're not willing, let this kid go to SCMAU. I'll make him the vice-chancellor immediately. Wu Quishan said reservedly. Old Chen must be joking. After all, Fong Ping is from MCMAU. He's still young. MCMAU still has many high ranks to look after. SCMAU probably won't be able to hold on. Why don't you take a look at SCMU's conditions? You're just a rank 8. Can you hold on? This kid's ability to get into trouble is something that even MCMAU can't handle. Yet, You still want him to go to SCMU? This old man is really stubborn. Chen Yaoding was speechless. After thinking about it, it made sense. Other things aside, could SCMU even start a war like this? P.S. Powerless update, sorry. Chapter 632. Congratulations! MCMEU has annihilated Sky Gate City, raised the prestige of Sino Nation, raised the prestige of MCMEU. While Fong Ping and the others were still sorting through the spoils of war, an earth-shattering laughter came from afar. Tianmu had arrived. Tianmu had just finished speaking when someone laughed loudly from the west. Killing the enemy. Teacher's death has finally been avenged. My only regret is that I couldn't kill the enemy personally to avenge my teacher's death. Wu Chuan had arrived. As soon as these two people arrived, the MCMEU crowd below them cheered loudly. This battle was MCMEU's battle. It was from the beginning to the end. Tianmu sealed off Monster Sunflower City. Wu Chuan sealed off Monster Phoenix City. Both of them were from MCMEU. Moreover, among these two people, one was the Guardian of the South, the highest leader in the southern region. The other was the general of the military department and would soon become the deputy commander-in-chief of the military department. Perhaps he would also lead the southern military department's war situation. In this way, the highest leaders in the entire southern region were all from MCMEU. Moreover, both of them were rank 9. Wu Quishan was also a rank 9. Old Manly was not a rank 9, but he was better than a rank 9. With so many powerhouses appearing in one school, it was also the beginning of the golden age of MCMEU. In midair, Fong Ping and the others had arrived. As soon as Tianmu arrived, he laughed loudly. Changshin, you kid, not bad. You actually cut down the Skygate tree. Amazing! On the other side, as soon as Wu Chuan arrived, he also laughed. Fong Ping did well this time. I heard that you killed a rank 8. Very strong. Vice-Chancellor Chun is also tired. He restrained 2 rank 8s and killed 1. Vice-Chancellor Liu and the rest have also worked hard. They restrained the rank 8s. Both of them were beaming with joy, praising them profusely. Wu Quishan waited for a long time. His expression was so stiff that he looked like a zombie. So, I'm the only one who didn't contribute? At least I self-destructed my divine weapon and severely damaged the Skygate tree. At least I injured the Lord of Skygate City and made him retreat to the Forbidden Sea, right? Why doesn't anyone mention me? This is too sad. Wu Quishan's heart was desolate. Fine, I'll stay in Skygate City then. Every time, his heart would bleed, but he couldn't say anything. Fong Ping, a rank 7, had killed a rank 8. Li Changsheng, a rank 8, had killed a rank 9. Chen Yaoding, the external aide, had also killed a rank 8. Yao Qingjun, Li Hansong, and the rest had killed a few rank 7s. Lu Polu and the other rank 7s were restraining a rank 8. This was considered a cross-rank battle. He was the only one who seemed to have nothing to say. Could it be that he was very powerful after snatching back the Skygate City Lord's thigh bone? Tianmu laughed for a while and said, Minister Zhang is now guarding Hope City. Elder Fan and the others are transporting the mineral veins back to Earth. I've arranged for a team of 1,000 people to mine the mine. This matter should be settled as soon as possible, in case someone covets it after the minister leaves. Zhang Tao wouldn't be able to stay here for long and would be leaving soon. Once he left, Magic City's catacombs might not be as quiet as it was now. Everyone nodded. Soon, the military martial artists from Hope City arrived. As soon as these people arrived, they began to cooperate with the MCMEU martial artists to mine the underground low-grade mineral veins. After chatting for a while, Wu Chuan looked at Wu Quishan and nodded slightly. It seems like it won't be long before Quishan catches up to Northern Spear King. Northern Spear King Wang Yu, ranked 10th on the rank 9 Grandmaster ranking. When Fong Ping heard this, he was a little surprised. It can't be. The Vice-Chancellor just broke through rank 9 not long ago. Although Wu Quishan had made progress in the origin path previously, it shouldn't be possible for him to catch up to the top 10 Grandmasters in an instant, right? Wu Chuan laughed. His progress in the origin path might not be as good, but with a rank 9 divine weapon, he should be comparable to Wang Yu. However, he needs some time to accumulate. Wu Quishan said helplessly. The divine weapon has self-destructed. What are you afraid of? Isn't Fong Ping here? Wu Quishan was speechless. What should I say? Fong Ping also looked up at the sky. Old Wu trusted him so much? Speaking of which, are you asking me to lend out the Sky Gate Tree's heart and brain nuclei? As for Tai Tu's black greatsword, that belonged to Tai Tu. Although this fellow did not use it now, the divine weapon he obtained this time was the divine armor. Other than the divine armor, he did not have any other divine weapons. This great sword, Fong Ping really could not give it away so easily. Fong Ping did not talk about this. He would talk about it later. Right now, Fong Ping was not very interested in Wu Quishan's progress. Instead, he said with a face full of curiosity, among the top 10 grandmasters in Sino Nation, other than the 2 godly guardian, I have never seen the 8th-ranked High Grandmaster Kong. High Grandmaster Kong is really low-key. Right now, Wu Chuan was ranked 7th, Zhao Xingwu was ranked 9th, and Wang Yu was ranked 10th. Including the 11th-ranked Li Daong, the 17th-ranked Dragon King Lin Long. Fong Ping had seen all of these people before. Not to mention Jueshing, he had always been guarding Mount Yuhai. It was normal that the 2 guardians, Chun and Shun, had not seen him. However, Fong Ping had not seen the 8th-ranked High Grandmaster even once. The others did not talk about him much either. When Fong Ping mentioned this, beside him, Wu Chuan laughed and said, Kong Lingyuan has been in closed-door cultivation all these years. During the Donglin Catacombs battle, Kong Lingyuan was seriously injured. Even his origin path was severely damaged. That is why he has spent most of these years recuperating. Fong Ping had heard of the Donglin Catacombs battle. In 1996, the Donglin Catacombs riot. It was also that year that Donglin's Chun family's old grandmaster brought his entire family into the catacombs. All of them died in the catacombs. The only survivor was the young Chun Jiaxing. Fong Ping had met him a few times during the first Martial Arts University Championship. Later, he also went to Donglin Martial Arts University to meet him. I see, Fong Ping responded. Then he suddenly asked, Senior Wu, what's your title? He really did not know. The leaders of the 3 ministries and 4 prefectures did not have titles on the ranking. Only their positions were listed. Martial King, Netherworld King, and so on. Wu Chuan was the Snake King. Tian Mu was the Fist King. As for what Wu Chuan was, Fong Ping had never thought about it. Now his interest was piqued. When Wu Chuan heard this, he raised his eyebrows slightly and said, Titles and whatnot are all decided by outsiders. It has no effect on combat strength. Why do you care about these? Fong Ping looked at him suspiciously. Don't tell me you don't have a title? Beside him, Old Man Li yawned and said, Emerald Light Sword. None of teacher's students who use swords are called kings. Jade Light Swordsman Wu Chuan, Longevity Swordsman Li Chongsheng, Wooden Swordsman Huang Jing. Cough, cough, cough. Fong Ping coughed violently to hide his urge to laugh. Compelling Light Swordsman? A wooden swordsman? Damn, no wonder Wu Chuan never mentioned this. What kind of title was that? Wasn't it embarrassing enough? And Huang Jing, how did he get such a nickname? Was it for real? Wu Chuan looked at Old Man Li with an unfriendly expression. He said mildly, Longevity Swordsman is a title that someone named himself. I remember when he first made a name for himself, he was called One Sword Hero. Tian Mu replied lazily. Then, with a casual expression, he said, dominating with the first strike, but dispirited with the second. Actually, this title can be used even now. It's still the same. Fong Ping could not hold it in any longer. Old Man Li's swordsman longevity was his own doing. How shameless. Old Man Li let out a humph. One sword was enough. Why did he need so many swords? After laughing for a while, he saw that Old Man Li and the others had unfriendly expressions. Fong Ping coughed dryly and immediately changed the topic. Senior Wu, your title is too lousy. How can it match your identity? The Martial Arts Association is not a good thing. They keep using these titles to disgust people. When we return to Earth, Senior Wu, let's go find trouble with them. Of course, the title has to be domineering. What are they doing now? Fong Ping had wanted to find trouble with the two presidents of the Martial Arts Association for a long time. This time, when he returned to Earth with the momentum of a great victory, he had to rearrange the ranking and change his title. He had been thinking about this for a long time. What did he change last time? This time, he would give the two presidents one last chance. He would also go and collect the debt from President Liu. Do you think you're mingling in the underworld? Do you have to come up with a nice-sounding name? Wu Chuan could not be bothered with him. There was a reason for the title. When he was young, he wielded the Emerald Light Sword. When he slashed with the sword, emerald light shone brilliantly. This was also one of his characteristics. Of course, that was in the past. However, he used a sword. There were too many powerhouses who used swords, including his own teacher, the King of Swords. He would not use it. Not continuing to talk about this, Wu Chuan said again, "You better be careful, kid. I saw your arrest warrant at Monster Phoenix City previously. It was issued by the Monster Royal Court. Even I want to kill you for the bounty after reading it. 1 rank, 8 divine weapon, 10,000 rank, 9 energy stones, which is about 1,000 caddies, plus a set of rank 9 powerhouses combat techniques. Kid, with this price, the arrest warrant might have spread all over the outer realm. If you encounter people from the Monster Life clan in the future, be careful. Not only that, if people from the outer realm kill you, they can also get 3 restricted area passes. The outer realm has a limited quota every year to go to the restricted area. Many people covet the 3 restricted area passes." Fong Ping cursed under his breath when he heard that. He said viciously, "It must be that Ji Yao who did it. Don't let me see her next time. If I do, I'll beat her into minced meat." "Beat her into minced meat?" Wu Chuan said exasperatedly. "Where there are people, run if you see her. Stop talking nonsense. If you kill her, you'll be in big trouble. Her grandfather is a life king. His combat strength is not weaker than Commander Li and the others. Her father is the lord of the royal court. I heard that he has been in closed-door cultivation recently and has a chance of achieving true king realm. 1 family with 2 true kings. Moreover, they are father and son. They lead a big royal court. Your death won't have as big an impact as her death. Besides, I heard from the people who came back from the restricted area that Ji Yao broke through to rank 7 and signed an agreement with the descendant of the royal court guardian Phoenix King. That Phoenix monster is similar to you. Rank 7 has also forged golden bones. If you really meet her, you might not be able to deal with her." Fong Ping said indifferently, "I can even kill a rank bait. Why would I be afraid of her?" Let's not talk about family background. I'll kill her with 1 slash. Oh right, the Lord of the Monster Life Royal Court breaking through to Paragon. Will it affect us? It definitely will. Wu Chuan's expression was slightly solemn. He said, "The current Lord of the Monster Life Royal Court is ambitious. Previously, a true king monster from the Guardian bloodline appeared in the capital city catacombs. Whether it was the Royal Court's monster that acted on its own or the Monster Life Royal Court ordered it, no one knew. The catacombs passageways are about to be fully opened. These people are all eager to make a move. Now, they are all waiting for an opportunity, waiting for the passageways to be fully opened. Therefore, in these 1 or 2 years, even if we provoke them a little, they won't really start a war. Because it's not a good time for them to start a war now. However, when the passageways are fully opened, that will be the opportunity." Fong Ping also knew what it meant for all the passageways to be fully opened. It meant that every passageway could be passed through and allowed a large number of desperate situations to enter. Now, the true kings of the catacombs did not have a unanimous opinion. It had something to do with the passageways not being fully opened. If they were not fully opened, individual true kings might not be willing to enter Earth. Fong Ping hesitated for a moment, but still asked, "The Monster Plant clan wants the seed of rebirth. Senior Wu, what exactly is the seed of rebirth?" "I don't know." Wu Chuan's answer was straightforward. Beside him, Tian Mu saw that Fong Ping was a little puzzled. He thought for a while and still said, "I really don't know, but I have some guesses. Tian Mu hesitated for a moment before saying, there are absolute powerhouses who have guessed that the seed of rebirth that the catacombs want might be a kind of life core. It might be the planet's life core, or it might be the life core of all living things. No matter which one it is, absolute powerhouses have determined that the seed of rebirth probably doesn't exist, or rather, it doesn't exist now. After massacring the humans on Earth and letting the vitality of the humans on Earth return to the planet, when all living things die out, there might be a chance that the so-called seed of rebirth will be born. This kind of speculation is not baseless. There are powerhouses who have found some clues in ancient books. The humans born on Earth cultivated martial arts, seized the origin, cultivated all kinds of martial arts origin paths, and plundered the Earth's origin. If they kill a large number of humans and powerhouses, they might be able to condense a new origin path, a new path that leads to the pinnacle. Wu Chuan, on the other hand, continued, this is just an individual speculation. It's not something that can be confirmed. The catacombs should know more than us, but they won't tell us. Since they didn't force us to hand over the seed of rebirth, it means that the speculation might be true. If the seed of rebirth exists on Earth now, faced with a crisis in a situation like this, humans might very well compromise and hand over the seed of rebirth to avoid a war of annihilation. However, the catacombs powerhouses did not ask us to hand it over. Instead, they blindly opened the passageway and invaded Earth. In that case, the possibility of this theory being true will increase greatly. In the past, no one would have told Fang Ping about these things. But now, with his strength and status, as long as he asked a few questions, they wouldn't hide anything and told him everything. As Wu Chuan spoke, he continued, actually, there are other speculations, including this so-called seed of rebirth. It's possible that it was originally something from the catacombs. Our ancient martial art practitioners might have stolen something from them and cut off their path to the pinnacle. It was possible that the catacombs powerhouses wanted to retrieve such an item and walk the path to the top again. You have to know that there are many peak-level powerhouses in the catacombs. The Monster Plant's royal court has a true king hall. The true kings in the true king hall are known to the public as 49 true kings. Maybe there are even more. As for the 4 majestic halls, the number of true kings guarding the majestic halls was slightly less, but the rest were about the same. There were so many paragons, but none of them had taken a new path. The catacombs' martial arts legacy had never been broken, so why not? Was there really no other way to go on the summit? It was rumored that during the Demon Emperor calendar, the Demon Emperor was at the peak. How did the Demon Emperor die? Of old age? Or something else? Or maybe the Demon Emperor took away some important things related to the peak. Maybe such things are in the human world. The other party was not willing to say it, maybe to prevent the humans' paragons from obtaining it. All these years, the humans' paragons have been searching for it, but to no avail. Therefore, other than the name Seed of Rebirth, we really don't know anything. Seed of Rebirth. From the name, maybe it's a kind of martial arts revival seed? Wu Chuan shook his head as he spoke. He was really not sure about these things. If he knew, the humans would have gotten the seed of rebirth long ago. Fang Ping felt slightly regretful when he heard that. He said, if we don't know what the enemy wants, then it's not easy to make some targeted arrangements. No wonder we can only hold on until now. They did not know what the catacombs powerhouses wanted at all. The other party looked like they wanted to enter Earth and kill humans. How could they negotiate? Forget about negotiating. Even some arrangements were difficult. If the seed of rebirth was an object, they might as well let the human powerhouses bring the seed of rebirth into the Forbidden Sea. If they had the ability, they could let the Paragon snatch it from the Forbidden Sea. Unfortunately, there was no conclusion to everything. After saying so much, Fang Ping thought for a while and said, then on our Earth, are there any ancient martial artists still alive? I heard that there are some old antiques in the sect world who haven't come out. Is that true? Fang Ping had been puzzled about this for a long time, but he still could not find an answer. No. Wu Chuan's answer was straightforward. He said quickly, there are hidden powerhouses in the sect world, but they can't be considered ancient martial artists. What does ancient martial artists mean? Only martial artists who are at least 1,000 years old can be called ancient martial artists. There are some old antiques in the sect world, but most of them are powerhouses who were born in the last 100 or 200 years. Other than that, there are actually some martial artists who have been resurrected. They don't show up often, so you guys don't know. However, the government has registered these people. Sometimes, they're also enlisted to participate in the war. But, how do I put it? These old antiques. Speaking of these old antiques, Wu Chuan felt a headache coming on. He said, when I say old antiques, I mean really old-fashioned. Some of the seniors in the sect world are actually guarding the catacombs, including Mount Royal Sea. Other than the paragons, there are actually some powerhouses guarding it. Those are the powerhouses in the sect world. This is one of them. And another one, these people are more stubborn. They're only willing to defend Earth, unwilling to defend against the enemy outside. If the catacombs invade, they will participate in the war. But if they do not invade, they are not willing to participate in the war. It is not good to force them on this matter. They can't possibly suppress them because of this, right? Since they are willing to defend, the few paragons did not force them either. However, when Commander Li and Minister Zhang rose to power, they still did something big. They forcibly migrated these sects to a few places near the more dangerous catacombs entrances. Since they are unwilling to enter the catacombs, these people are guarding the passageway entrances. The old antiques are unwilling, but the young people can't. Watching martial artists from all over the world enter the catacombs, in the past few years, the young martial artists from those sects have also started to enter one after another. Otherwise, without resources, without battles, the sect world will become weaker and weaker. After listening for a while, Fong Ping said with slight regret, there are no ancient martial artists. I thought there would be some ancient people in the sect world. 100 or 200 years was considered a long time, but relatively speaking, these people were really not considered too old. Then, are there many of these powerhouses? Not really. There are only a few tens of high ranks. Wu Chuan said with some regret, it's really not easy for these people to cultivate to this stage in that era. Most of them have never entered the catacombs. These people are the most outstanding group of people in several generations. It's a pity. If they had entered the catacombs to fight, maybe a paragon would be born. Now that they are old and weak, unless they have reached rank 8, rank 7's combat strength has declined. But speaking of which, these martial artists from these sects might be the martial artists that we yearn for. Practicing martial arts is to cultivate one's character, to play in the secular world. Fong Ping said disapprovingly. Before the crisis is eliminated, cultivating one's character and playing in the secular world at this time is not considered a martial artist. These old antiques can only be used as signboards. Anyway, they are not good enough for me. In every era, there would be some people who stood out and led the era. These influential people guided the direction of the people of an era. When people like Li Jun and Zhang Tao rose to power, Sino-Nation martial artists gradually moved from defense to counterattack. Before Li Jun and the others rose to power, there was defense but very little counterattack. However, when people like Li Jun and the others rose to power, some of Sino-Nation's policies changed. They started initiating wars. This was the change. Everything was related to the style of these powerhouses. Those old antiques practiced martial arts to play in the secular world. This also led to the majority of the martial artists of that era to have this kind of character. The conversation went on for a while. Fong Ping had understood everything he needed to know. Tian Mu and Wu Chuan did not talk about this anymore. Instead, they went underground to look at the mineral veins. These rank 9 who were inexperienced had not seen the royal city's giant mine. When country bumpkins entered the city, of course they had to take a look. Wu Quishan accompanied them, showing off silently at the same time. Haven't seen the world, right? This war went on for 3 days. After the war, the aftermath lasted for a long time. Plundering the spoils of war, transporting materials, mining, cleaning the battlefield, Zhang Tao did not stay in the catacombs for too long. After the core mineral veins were transported away, he left the catacombs. Green Wolf King had warned him many times with mentality. If Zhang Tao did not leave, he would not be courteous. Although Warlord was still keeping watch at Mount Royal Sea, Warlord had to return to his own defense zone. He could not stay for long. After Zhang Tao left, MCMU began to evacuate the wounded and the weak. The others, including Fang Ping, had to go underground to dig away the mineral veins in the periphery. Wu Chuan and Tian Mu did not leave. Instead, they were in charge of keeping watch here to prevent any unforeseen events. The team transporting the middle and low-ranked energy ores flowed endlessly between the two cities. Such a grand scene was rare in the catacombs. The Jiao's forest had also become a thing of the past. The team directly opened up a passageway in the Jiao's forest. The Jiao's clansmen had long fled in all directions. No one knew where they went. At the same time, the news of MCMAU annihilating Sky Gate City had also spread to Sino Nation and the human world. There was an uproar in the Grandmaster's circle. After the uproar, there was shock and joy. MCMAU annihilated a royal city, greatly boosting the human martial artists' morale. In MCMAU, the teachers and students who stayed behind were also cheering. Chen Zhenhua and the others even hurried to the Southern Area Cemetery and the school archives to pay their respects. The enemy of decades had been completely annihilated this time. Such a big event was enough to comfort the heroic souls who had died in battle. At this moment, many powerhouses rushed to Magic City once again, waiting for MCMAU's return. Chapter 633. On the night of August 17th, Zhang Tao left the catacombs. He did not take the passageway. Instead, he unleashed his aura and went all the way to Imperial Sea Mountain. Old Zhang liked to do this kind of thing. He would scare people whenever he had the chance. Peerless powerhouses were incomparably powerful. Although he did not hurt anyone, he unleashed his aura. Fang Ping and the others should be safe for a while. At this time, no one would dare to attack. MCMU spent a few days cleaning up the battlefield this time. It was not until August 20th that the spoils of war were almost collected. Even so, there were still many places in the city that had not been cleaned up. The huge royal city was extremely desolate at this moment. The city lord's mansion overlooked the city. Outside the city lord's mansion was a huge energy crystal square. This was also the place where Sky Gate City's army used to gather. At this moment, on the energy crystal square, MCMAU instructors and students gathered. Wu Quishan was in high spirits. He was much more talkative than when he went to war. He said loudly, August 15th, MCMAU enters the catacombs. August 17th, annihilate Sky Gate City. In this battle, we killed 2 rank 9s, 2 rank 8s, and 9 rank 7s. Middle-ranked martial artists, 897 killed. Low-ranked martial artists killed more than 10,000 enemies. More than half of Sky Gate City's army of more than 100,000 died or were injured. 90% of the martial artists were killed. After announcing his achievements, Wu Quishan began to talk about the harvest. Energy mines. This battle's harvest of high-ranked energy mines is close to 20 tons. Middle and low-ranked energy mines, more than 50 tons. There's still a lot of low-ranked energy mines underground that we haven't had the time to mine. More than 8,000 sets of standard armor. More than 40,000 metal weapons. Countless energy fruits, countless medicinal herbs. According to statistics, this battle's harvest is more than 10 trillion. This number was more than Fang Ping had calculated before. There were too many things in the huge royal city where millions of people lived. When royal city residents fled, they could not bring many things with them. According to the previous school policy, killing a rank 1 martial artist is 5 merit points. Rank 2, 10 merit points. Rank 3, 30 merit points. Rank 4, 100 merit points. Rank 5, 1,000 merit points. Below rank 6, Mentality Vitality Fusion, 10,000 merit points. Mentality Vitality Fusion, 50,000 merit points. Wu Quishan did not mention high ranks because there was no need for that. High ranks were the Grandmaster's business. As the school's leadership, they did not need these merits to be calculated. At this point, Wu Quishan raised his voice again. Merit points are based on the number and grade of enemies killed. This time, all the spoils of war were confiscated. The teachers and students were not allowed to hide them. After the war, MCMU started the merit redemption system. In the past few days, we've been tallying up everyone's battle achievements. When we return to MCMU, we'll launch the merit exchange system on Distance's platform. Everyone can go back and exchange for things that you need. On the side, Fong Ping smiled and continued. The value of 1 merit is equivalent to 1 credit. Killing a rank 6 would be worth about 100 million. Killing someone at the Blood and Essence Unity realm would be worth 500 million. Of course, in this way, the school would still have a lot of surplus which would go into the public account. Over the past year or so, the school's expenses had been too great. The school couldn't afford to waste all its resources. Besides, this time, General Du Hong and the others from the military department have come to MCMU's aid and suffered heavy casualties. The brothers from the military department have shed their blood for us, and we, MCMU, are not ungrateful people. Credits will be calculated according to double the value of MCMU's instructors and students. Do any instructors or students have any objections? No problem. Everyone below the stage cheered loudly. Although MCMU started the war to kill the enemy, it was also because of personal grudges. More than 1/3 of the military department's instructors group had died in battle. Their casualties were heavy, and no one had any objections. Below the stage, Du Hong wanted to say something, but hesitated. In the end, he said nothing. This time, the military department had killed a lot of enemies, especially him, who had killed a Blood and Essence Unity realm and 2 rank SXS. It was the same for the others. After counting the battle achievements for the past few days, less than 100 people from the military department had more than 300,000 points of credits. Under double, that would be 600,000 points. 6 billion. The military department would probably not take the resources worth 6 billion this time, but distribute them instead. It seemed like the average share was not much, but participating in the war once and gaining close to 100 million per person was almost impossible for martial artists below the high ranks. Of course, Fong Ping was an exception. There was never a time when he did not earn money when he went down to the catacombs. The military department had more than 300,000 points of credits. Although there were many MCMAU instructors and students, most of the people they killed were ordinary people. Most of them were martial artists in the 3 lower ranks. Calculating it, the total credits were less than 3 million. In this way, thousands of instructors and students only gained 30 billion. In reality, this was a lot for anyone. After the war, the average reward was close to 10 million. However, MCMU had gained a lot this time, and the school was not that stingy. Fong Ping continued. Actually, it's best not to exchange these credits for daily cultivation resources. This time, we will open the exchange of some precious materials. For example, the 100 honing fruit, the vein molding flower, and the fruit of nourishment. These are all rare treasures. We will also open the exchange of some divine weapons. These are things that money can't buy. As for daily cultivation, MCMU will be carrying out a major renovation this time, rebuilding the southern area. We will be laying an incomparably huge mineral vein under the southern area. Although it may not last forever and is not as renewable as the royal city, when everyone cultivates in the southern area in the future, the effect will not be worse than the royal city inner-city residents' cultivation. This is free, but it is only for the current MCMAU instructors and students. In the future, new students will follow the old rules. Credits are the priority. From now on, new students can enter the southern area, but they must spend credits to enter. Everyone can stay in the southern area for a long time. We will invite some powerhouses to set up a strong mentality solidification barrier in the southern area. Not only will it be safe, but it will also maximize the concentration of energy. From now on, MCMAU will be the holy land of cultivation. Everyone bleeds for MCMAU, but MCMU will never let everyone shed tears for MCMAU. In addition, the credits for those who died in battle will be tripled. Those who have martial artists in their family will give all their credits. Those who have no martial artists and have children of the right age will be exempted from the test to enter MCMAU, and the credits will be recorded under their names. Those who have the elderly, the weak, the women, and the children will be provided for by MCMEU for 100 years. This order is not only for MCMEU instructors and students, but also for the comrades of the military department who have sacrificed themselves in this battle. Fong Ping explained one by one. Everyone's faces were full of excitement and agitation. If that was the case, from now on, cultivation would be free? These people were excited, while Wu Quishan and the others beside them could not help but laugh. According to Fong Ping, in order to not let everyone lose their motivation, the so-called free was just the permeating energy. If one wanted to truly enter the core mineral vein to cultivate, they still had to pay a lot of credits. With the mineral vein buried, just the permeating energy alone was extremely rich. It would not be a problem for martial artists in the 3 lower ranks to cultivate. However, if martial artists in the 3 middle ranks wanted to improve quickly, they still had to enter the core mining area. Although MCMU's harvest was huge, it was mainly the energy mines. The energy mines were the main source of the harvest. Energy mines accounted for 80% of the 10 trillion harvest. This stuff was very difficult to convert into cash and no one could afford it. MCMU would not sell it either. Therefore, the real harvest could not be said to be a lot, but it was not a lot either. After saying these, Wu Quishan shouted, "Skygate City has been destroyed. The credits have been calculated. It's time to go back to school. Everyone, Skygate City will be temporarily taken over by the military department. When MCMU has made arrangements, we will be stationed in Skygate City. There are still a lot of low-ranked energy mines here. Since we have conquered Skygate City, we will not give up. When the arrangements are done, MCMU will take over Skygate City. Victories! Everyone cheered. Taking over a royal city. Conquering a royal city in the catacombs. Who else? 2 royal cities had been destroyed in the capital city catacombs, but the royal city had already been destroyed. There was no way to take over. If the Tian'an catacombs blew up a royal city, it would also disappear completely. The Shishan catacombs humans built a big city themselves. They did not conquer the royal city. The big city without a mineral vein was still prepared by the government to be used as an arcane realm for martial arts university freshmen to cultivate. On the other hand, MCMU had truly conquered the royal city. The huge underground mine had not been completely excavated. Cultivating here was 10 times, 100 times better than going to the Shishan catacombs. Of course, it was also more dangerous. "Go home," Wu Quishan shouted. Thousands of instructors and students began to return. The Grandmaster powerhouses did not let down their guard. All the Grandmasters hovered in the air, releasing their pressure and intimidating the surroundings. Hope City. At this moment, the city walls were also filled with people. Both sides of the streets were also filled with people. MCMU was going to return triumphantly from Skygate City. On one side of the city walls, Han Su's expression was complicated. He said softly, "Senior Li has entered the Grandmaster realm." Beside him, Ling Yi mumbled for a while. Back then, when Fong Ping said that Li Hansong could only enter the Grandmaster realm if he went to MCMU, she did not take it seriously. However, how long had it been? At that time, Fong Ping went to CCMAU in June. It was only August now. In a little more than 2 months, Li Hansong had entered the Grandmaster realm. Not only Li Hansong, but some information about the MCMU war had also spread. MCMU Fong Ping was so powerful that it was shocking. 1 against 7. He killed 7 rank 7 martial artists. Not only that, with the help of others, he killed a rank 8 with a saber, completely establishing the victory of the rank 7 and 8 battle. Li Hansong, Wang Jinyang, and Yao Qinjun had also joined forces to kill 2 rank 7 powerhouses. Li Hansong's defense was invincible, resisting the rank 8's attack for a while. An early-stage rank 7 blocking a rank 8 was also shocking. As for Li Chongxing killing a rank 9 with his sword, and Wu Quishan fighting the Forbidden Sea Demon Clan. Alright, this big battle with the Forbidden Sea Demon Clan made a lot of people confused. How did it have anything to do with the Forbidden Sea? However, no matter what, the 2 rank 9 combat strengths of MCMU were also powerful to a shocking extent. At this moment, MCMU was too powerful, getting stronger and stronger. Including Li Hansong, there were already 8 Grandmaster-level powerhouses. Moreover, it was said that Luo Yichuan and Zhang Jianhong were also in high spirits in this battle. Essence, spirit, and soul united, MCMU had killed countless people. Perhaps they could enter rank 7 soon. This old man, Su Guqing, was old but strong. After a long, fierce battle with a Mentality Vitality Unity powerhouse, he entered Mentality Vitality Unity on the 16th. In the past, MCMU was inferior to CCMU. Now it was getting stronger, leaving CCMU far behind. Not to mention, they had not digested the gains from this battle. After digesting the gains from this battle, MCMU would become stronger. This was how martial artists were. They would become stronger and stronger in battle. They would not become weaker the more they fought. Han Su, do you think we can't catch up to MCMU? Ling Yi used to be very confident, but now she was not so confident. With MCMU's current situation, could they really catch up? She had some small ideas. CCMU was too comfortable. Although small battles were constantly happening in Capital City, since the last time the enemy was defeated, there had not been a large-scale battle for a long time. She was also a senior this year, about to graduate. Should she stay in CCMAU or go to MCMAU? When the results of the Magic City Catacombs battle spread, she and Han Su rushed to the Magic City Catacombs overnight and found that there were indeed some differences between here and the Capital City Catacombs. Under the stimulation of MCMAU, the martial artists in the city were seething with anger. They could not wait to fight a big battle. In the direction of Monster Sunflower City, the military martial artists actively blocked the other side, often cursing at each other. Their morale was extremely high. Han Su did not say anything. Not being able to catch up was probably inevitable. Others aside, Fong Ping, that monster, was also out of the question. Among the students of the same batch, his ability was now considered extremely strong. Peak rank 4, just a little bit away from entering rank 5. He just needed a few more days to prepare. However, this time, he heard that Chen Yunxi, who was inferior to him in the past, took the lead and led the MCMU Martial Arts Society members to kill countless enemies. It was very likely that she would quickly enter middle stage rank 5. Not only Chen Yunxi, but the once-honed Zhao Shumei also used the indestructible crystal to recover during the battle. She had completed honing the last of the 5 viscera and also entered peak rank 4. The others, such as Fu Changding, Zhao Lei, and Yang Xiaoman, had all entered peak rank 4 or were about to. With MCMU's harvest from this battle, these people could probably enter rank 5 very soon. MCMU's golden age had completely begun. In this battle, they had wiped out the feud. The instructors and students were in high spirits, carrying the momentum of a great victory. Although these people did not walk the path of invincibility, they had also used this battle to complete the transformation, achieving the unity of essence, spirit, and soul. This kind of state was too rare. Perhaps in the end, many people would quickly enter the Mentality Vitality Unity realm. When Fong Ping walked the path of invincibility among rank 3, his state might not be comparable to the current MCMU instructors and students. At that time, Zhang Dingnan and the others had already determined that Fong Ping had a chance of becoming a grandmaster. At least, under the unity of essence, spirit, and soul, Mentality Vitality Unity might not be a big problem. Han Su knew all of this. The more he knew, the more bitter he felt. This time, he hurried to Magic City to see how MCMU's current state was. Very soon, Han Su saw it. From afar, an incomparably huge vitality pillar pierced through the sky and moved toward Hope City. That vitality pillar reflected the catacombs in red. On the city wall, someone exclaimed, This force is too strong. If there's an invasion from the outside, this vitality pillar alone can defeat a rank 7 or 8 martial artist mentality. Thousands of people's vitality forces converged and condensed into a force. This was equivalent to thousands of people walking the path of invincibility. In this battle, they were indeed walking the path of invincibility. An opponent of the same rank was nothing. In this battle, they fought a battle that destroyed the city. Not only did they fight, but they also won, killing countless enemies. At this moment, when everyone returned, their momentum was also full to the peak. Each of them held their heads high and puffed out their chests, returning to Hope City and the human world in their best state. Strictly speaking, invincibility was to build a sense of confidence. Old Wong, this fellow, could do this when he hypnotized himself back then. Not to mention that they had won this time. And it was a great victory. On the way, Fong Ping also noticed that the vitality pillar where everyone's vitality forces converged was getting stronger and stronger, even faintly carrying some pressure. Old Wong, who was next to him, was also full of emotion and envy at this moment. He said softly, "The force of the whole school converges, the essence, spirit, and soul become one. Thousands of people. MCMU is really going to rise completely." Now everyone was also a grandmaster. Their knowledge might not be much, but it was definitely not too bad. Fong Ping was also full of smiles. He said, "Accumulating force. I know about individual accumulations, but I didn't expect that everyone could actually do it inadvertently. This is too rare. It is very rare." On the other side, Li Hansong was also shocked. He said, "This kind of thing rarely happens. Even if it happens, it's only for a few people, in the case of tens of people. In Capital City, I've seen it once. A team of 100 people army martial artists ambushed an army of 1,000 people. In the end, the remaining 30 or so army martial artists did this when they returned to the city. Great victory, confidence, invincibility. This is the main reason for forming this force. I just didn't expect that a few thousand people in MCMU could actually do it." While they were talking among the crowd, someone's celestial bridge suddenly appeared. In the next moment, it converged into a halo. Someone had entered rank 5. Under the influence of this environment, everyone's essence, spirit, and vitality had reached the peak. Some martial artists who were only a step away from breaking through the realm easily broke through. This was a rare opportunity. This kind of force would not last for too long, but in the process, everyone would reap great rewards. Not only the celestial bridge, Fong Ping even saw someone's Sanjiao gate materialize. After watching for a while, Fong Ping's expression suddenly changed. In the next moment, Fong Ping's mentality giant hand stretched out and grabbed Qin Fengqing, who was in the crowd. Qin Fengqing looked at him innocently. Fong Ping could not help but curse under his breath. "Bastard. What are you doing?" Qin Fengqing said innocently. "Everyone is accumulating force. I'm following along." "You?" Fong Ping wanted to slap him to death. Everyone was immersed in this state, but this guy was not. Mother Fastrus Kerr. He was counting the energy stones. This time, the spoils of the battle were all handed over. However, there were too many low-ranked energy stones. After digging out a large number of low-ranked energy stones, MCMU opened up for everyone to dig for a while. The ones dug out were all personal gains. Qin Fengqing's luck was not bad. He had dug out a lot of middle and high-ranked ones. He was actually counting these things just now. What was he thinking? Seeing Fong Ping staring at him, Qin Fengqing felt even more innocent. After a while, he said helplessly, "I'm already an invincible powerhouse. I don't need to accumulate force." As soon as he said that, everyone was stunned. In the next moment, Qin Fengqing said in a deep voice, "I, Qin Fengqing, am invincible. I am an invincible powerhouse." Among martial artists of the same generation, I am number one. Between heaven and earth, I am the only one. As soon as he said that, a towering aura rose from his body. At this moment, Qin Fengqing was no longer wretched, but majestic to the extreme. He was invincible. That was what he was thinking. F***CK. Fong Ping was stunned. This was even more unreliable than Old Wong. Old Wong was not as powerful as him in the beginning. This guy hypnotized himself to this extent. How did he do it? Fong Ping was stunned. The corner of Wang Jinyang's mouth twitched too. After a while, he said he firmly believed that he was number one. He never doubted himself. Not far away, Old Man Li also came over using the Midair step. He was speechless. This kid has some tricks up his sleeves. He's made his confidence inflate to an explosive level. I say, are you young people all like this now? How confident did he have to be to create an attitude that he was the boss of the world with his early-stage rank 6 ability? No wonder this guy was counting energy stones. He did not need to accumulate force at all. This guy never walked the path of invincibility. He did not care too much if others wanted to take the first place in the ranking list. At most, he would scold them a few times and forget about it the next moment. So, he had long thought that he was number 1 in the world? At this moment, Qin Fengqing was full of confidence. His attitude was flamboyant, his head held high, and his chest puffed out. He, who had lost some of his wretched aura, was really handsome. Fong Ping cursed a few times and shouted, "All right, that's enough." In the next moment, Qin Fengqing returned to his original state, revealing a wretched smile. "Fong Ping, don't forget what you promised me." Hee, I'm going to become a grandmaster soon. In a second, he was like a completely different person. Fong Ping did not care about what he said. He said with an unfriendly expression, "You look like you're asking for a beating. You're the best in the world. Where do you put us?" Beside him, Li Hansong also rubbed his chin and said, "Are you going against your master? I saw you just now. You're even more arrogant than me." Cough, cough. You've all misunderstood. Get lost. Fong Ping cursed. He did not misunderstand. This guy was not so confident that he could ignore them. He did not have that kind of aura. In other words, he really thought that he was the best. Fong Ping, Li Hansong, they were all trash. That was why he had this kind of aura. This was what he thought from the bottom of his heart. Too arrogant. This was what he really thought. This bastard had always been pretending to be a fool. It seemed like he had never thought highly of them. At this moment, Fong Ping and the others looked at him one after another. All of their gazes were unfriendly, rubbing their palms. Qin Fengqing's expression was stiff. He said, "I really didn't mean that. How could I look down on you guys? I said that I'm invincible among rank 6. You guys aren't rank 6 anymore, right? You're all grandmasters. Why are you still fussing over this? Grandmaster Fong, Grandmaster Li, Grandmaster Wang, Grandmaster Yao. The 4 grandmasters slaughtered rank 7s like dogs. They can even annihilate rank 8s. They're invincible." Qin Fengqing flattered for a while, his face full of smiles. However, he was cursing furiously in his heart. "Just you wait. When I reach rank 7, I'll hammer you to death. Later, I'll trick Iron Head's divine armor, Old Wang's divine bow, and Old Yao's divine spear." As for Fong Ping, this guy had too many good things. Sooner or later, he would beat him until he offered them to him on his own initiative. He would kneel down and lick his boots every day. The more he thought about it, the happier he felt. Hence, Qin Fengqing's smile became even more wretched. Mushy words came out of his mouth like they were free. When they were close to Hope City, everyone's momentum gradually dissipated. From afar, this guy seemed to have been injected with adrenaline. He roared, "MCMU's victory! Annihilated a royal city. MCMU's Fong Ping killed a rank 9 by scheming, slashed a rank 8 with his saber, beheaded 7 rank 7s. He's invincible." Fong Ping's expression darkened. "Motherf asterisk Kerr, why are you bragging about me alone at this time?" Little did they know that in Qin Fengqing's opinion, Fong Ping was the richest. Who else should he brag about if not him? Should he lick Old Wu's boots? Old Wu was so poor. Old Li? Old Li was a debt-ridden old man. What was there to lick? Similarly, no one else could do it except for Fong Ping. If Qin Fengqing wanted to lick Fong Ping's boots, he had to find the right target. Qin Fengqing, would not do this to normal people. He was still hoping that Fong Ping could help him achieve peak rank 6. Everyone was mentally exhausted. Old Man Li rubbed his eyes and said vaguely, "Motherf asterisk Kerr, I must have seen wrongly just now. That invincible momentum just now was emitted by this rascal. Qin Fengqing? Bullsh asterisk T. This guy did not have the demeanor of a powerhouse. There were tens of thousands of people in the city. MCMU had 4,000 to 5,000 people too. There were so many people. Could he not be more shameless? He was not the only one who thought he had seen wrongly. Even Fong Ping was suspicious. Did he see wrongly just now? Dragons can be big or small. They can rise or hide. When they rise, they soar in the universe. When they hide within the waves of the four seas. At this moment, Fong Ping faintly had such a thought. This damn Baldy was more tolerant than him. Genius in a second. Remember this site's address. Mobile version. Chapter 634. Long live victory. When Qin Fengqing's roar rang out, the city was filled with cheers. In one battle, 13 of the enemy's high ranks were killed, and none of their own high ranks were injured. Such a result was so dazzling that it made people tremble. MCMU's instructors and students began to enter the city one after another. Each of them held their heads high and their spirits at their peak. On both sides of the road, some martial artists also performed a martial arts salute to show their respect. Although they had won this battle and there were not many casualties, MCMU had participated in the battle with the determination to die. No one was an exception to this. In the crowd, some young female martial artists looked at the MCMU students. Many of their eyes were burning, boldly confessing their love. Martial artists were like this. Even for a shy girl like Chen Yunxi, if she had taken a fancy to Fong Ping, she would be so outspoken and bold that it would scare you. At this moment, many of the female martial artists in the city looked at him with admiration. MCMU students were so strong. They had their own circle, and Fong Ping had his own circle. The female martial artists in the city were confessing their love. In the Grandmaster Circle, there were people staring at Old Man Li. Old Man Li did not care at first. The old man was so handsome and strong. It was normal for female grandmasters to admire him. Soon, Old Man Li felt something was wrong. Not only Old Man Li, but Fong Ping also felt something was wrong. Before he could share the joy of destroying the city with everyone, he saw as many as 3 female grandmasters staring at Old Man Li. Fong Ping gulped. What was going on? At the same time, Huang Jing, who was not far away, suddenly sighed. Vice-Chancellor, I want to guard the catacombs. I want to guard Sky Gate City with you. Wu Quishan looked at him. After a while, he asked, You did it? Huang Jing smiled bitterly. Didn't I think we were going to die? I thought that if we died, then so be it. We still have our children. Changsheng is still single. Anyway, we don't know if we can come back alive. There's no harm in trying. If we really die in battle and Changsheng comes back alive, it's good to have something to rely on. You said before that a few female powerhouses are suitable for Changsheng. I just said it. If Changsheng comes back alive, everyone will be old men and old women. Let's work together. Wu Quishan glanced at Li Changsheng and raised his eyebrows. How many people did you tell? I know 16 single high-ranked women in the country. I've told them all? Wu Quishan paused for a moment, then sighed and said, Pack up and go down to the catacombs. You will be hacked to death. You found 16 female grandmasters for Li Changsheng? Are you crazy? When a person was about to die, he would definitely go crazy. Huang Jing sighed and said, It's not just me. Senior brother Wu also joined in. He that talked to the Southern Elder Sisters. I said we can't do this, but he insisted. If we're exposed, I'm worried that senior brother Wu and Changsheng will be beaten to death. The 3 of them were martial brothers from the same sect. Old Man Li's marriage was a major event that the 2 seniors were worried sick about. Thinking that he might not be able to return this time, there was nothing wrong with going crazy. But now that he was back, it would be troublesome. Wu Quishan had nothing to say. He looked at him sympathetically. Forget it. You can only guard Sky Gate City with me. If you don't, you might be beaten to death by Li Changsheng in school. That's not the way to screw over a junior. Martial artists were very direct. Although Old Man Li might not have a long life because of the unification of 10,000 Dao, Grandmaster powerhouses, especially women, were brave enough to love and hate. They might not really care. Anyway, they were all in a precarious situation. Who knew if they could live until then? Li Changsheng had killed a rank 9 with his sword. The name of longevity swordsman had spread all over the world this time. To have a passionate twilight romance with a man like this was not bad. In front of the crowd, old man Li was still clueless. He just thought that these women were crazy. They kept staring at him. What were they looking at? Fong Ping, who was beside him, did not even dare to breathe. These old ladies, well, they all looked quite young. But why were they looking at old man Li like that? Initially, he wanted to show off a little, but looking at these female grandmasters' attitudes, Fong Ping suddenly shut up. Forget it. I won't say any more. Beside him, old man Fan had a smile on his face. After the female grandmasters looked at him for a while, old man Fan smiled and said, MCMU's victory in this battle and the destruction of Skygate City is a joy for us humans and a blessing for Sino Nation. This old man will be more relaxed in the future. I heard that Quishin will be guarding Skygate City. Is that true? Beside him, Wu Quishin stepped forward and answered, Old man Fan, after I've settled MCMU's matters, I'll enter the catacombs and guard Skygate City. Skygate City will become a cultivation ground for some MCMU instructors and students. Other departments, including casual martial artists, can all enter. Old man Fan looked at him for a while and said, I'm relieved that you'll be guarding. However, Skygate City is almost 100 li away from the passageway. It seems that this old man will have to continue to stay here. Originally, the other departments considered letting you guard Magic City catacombs. Now that you've conquered Skygate City, then let us suppress the other party in Magic City catacombs together. 2 rank 9s were less than 100 li away. Magic City catacombs would be much safer in the future. Elder Fan had been in charge of Magic City's catacombs for many years. His ability was not weak. It was the same for Wu Quishin. When the two of them joined forces, they could coordinate with each other from a distance. Unless the 4 great rank 9s of Monster Sunflower City and Monster Phoenix City joined forces to attack. Otherwise, in a confrontation between rank 9s, humans would have the upper hand. At this moment, Magic City's catacombs were the safest they had ever been. There were no enemy cities within a radius of 100 li. The nearest Monster Sunflower City was hundreds of miles away. This distance was enough for them to return to the surface and ask for reinforcements during the battle. Having said that, Elder Fan looked at Fong Ping with a smile on his face. Fong Ping, this is your first time entering the Magic City catacombs. Come to think of it, it hasn't been that long. I didn't expect that in the blink of an eye, Skygate City, which used to be our greatest enemy, would be destroyed in your hands. This old man is getting on in years. I won't be able to keep watch for many more years. I hope that the next time I have good news, it will be when Magic City's catacombs are pacified. He had been guarding the Magic City catacombs for decades. He was already more than 100 years old. Magic City's catacombs had been fighting frequently too. All these years, he was no longer as capable as he wanted to be. The last time the two cities joined forces to fight, the old man was still very pessimistic and desperate. Many acquaintances had fallen in that battle. However, in the blink of an eye, the situation had turned around. This made Elder Fan feel very emotional. Fong Ping smiled. This isn't the strength of MCMAU alone. All these years, if it weren't for everyone continuously weakening Skygate City, there wouldn't be such glory in this battle. It's all thanks to the blood and sacrifice of our ancestors that MCMAU has created such an opportunity. Everyone chuckled. Right now, everyone was very relaxed. After laughing for a while, Elder Fan said, MCMU should go back too. Now that Skygate City has been annihilated, all parties are watching you. If you guys stay any longer, it'll be more of an eyesore. Wu Quishin opened his mouth and said, I was going to leave initially. There's no need to excessively provoke those fellows now, lest they cause trouble. Everyone discussed for a while more. Wu Quishin shouted, Return to MCMEU. In the city, the MCMEU people began to gather at the passageway square. Old Man Li, who was walking with Wu Quishin, asked suspiciously, Why did Zhao Mingjin and the rest keep staring at me just now? Slashing a rank 9 with a sword. Can't they take a look at you? That's true. Old Man Li nodded. Still, he said curiously, I still feel like something's not right. Behind him, Huang Jing coughed dryly and said, Maybe they've taken a liking to you. What's so strange about that? Who do you like? Pick one. How old are they? Not interested. Old Man Li looked indifferent. Fong Ping and the rest could not care less about Old Man Li's matter. The moment Fong Ping and the rest exited the alloy house, the flashing lights went off. In the hall, a group of people were holding up their cameras and filming. The gatekeeper uncle was all smiles. He chuckled and said, "You said it. I fulfilled your wish." When Fong Ping left, he had said that when he came out, he wanted to record the scene of his grand victory and return. Now that they had really won, he did not forget about this. He had arranged it in advance. Fong Ping smiled and nodded. As he posed, he laughed and said, "Uncle, just for this. In the future, when we tear down the door, I'll share half with you." "Ha ha, that's great. I'll be waiting." Fong Ping laughed too. He continued to sculpt. This was a grand victory. He had to leave some footage to be passed down. Everyone was used to his actions. Wu Quishan pulled him away and threw him to the side to film. Everyone had not come out yet. "Don't block the way." Fong Ping, on the other hand, said while filming, "Vice-Chancellor, when we go back this time, why don't we follow what I said earlier? Only when 5,000 MCMAU powerhouses use the flight step will they have the momentum of a grand victory. Let's not talk about it during the expedition. Now that we've returned with a grand victory, we have to make a big scene, don't we?" Wu Quishan could not be bothered with him. Fong Ping said seriously, "To enhance the momentum of all mankind. Think about it. Thousands of powerhouses using the flight step and returning with the momentum of a grand victory. Now, walking the underground passageway in the dark is too shabby. Why don't you ask the military department for their opinion? I guarantee they won't have any objections." Wu Quishan was about to speak when someone laughed and said, "Sure, a triumphant return. Indeed, we should have the momentum of a triumphant return. I'll allow the flight step in Magic City. Now that the whole world is watching this battle, it's indeed not suitable for MCMEU to return via the underground passageway. Although Fong Ping likes to show off, sometimes it's still necessary to do so." As soon as he finished speaking, Zhang Tao appeared. Fong Ping realized that Zhang Tao had been spending a lot more time in Magic City recently. Since Zhang Tao had said so, Wu Quishan felt a little helpless. He glanced at Fong Ping and sighed softly. "Think of a way yourself. Mentality shouldn't be wasted like this." Martial artists of the 3 lower ranks could not use the flight step. Treading the air was more like it. With so many people, Fong Ping would think of a way to bring them along with him. "Don't, Vice-Chancellor. Let's do something together. It won't take up much mentality anyway." Fong Ping chuckled. "Vice-Chancellor, you're the one taking the lead this time. How honorable it is. We'll fly one round around Magic City. Under your leadership, MCMEU has defeated a great enemy. Isn't this worth celebrating?" Wu Quishan felt helpless and did not say anything more. Very soon, when everyone came out, they were informed about this matter. At this moment, even some of the instructors were a little excited. Although martial artists protected mankind, in order to hide the secrets of the catacombs, their military achievements were not obvious. In the eyes of the outside world, martial artists were a privileged class. As for the rest, it was only recently that they found out that martial artists would fight the evil sections. However, not many people knew how tragic the fighting was and how many people died every year. To be able to have such an opportunity on the day of a great victory in the Air Defense Ring City was indeed quite exciting. Martial artists also hoped to be recognized by others. After waiting for Fong Ping and the others to leave, Zhang Tao did not follow them. Instead, he was deep in thought. The situation had come to this point. The final battle might be near. Should some things be made public? There's no need to publicize the dangers and extermination. At least let people know that our martial artists are constantly fighting and bleeding for everyone. Martial artists do not only enjoy privileges. At least let people know that mankind has enemies. Of course, no matter how strong the enemy is, they will still be destroyed. Martial artists are also human, Zhang Tao murmured. Humans still hope to be recognized by others, to let people know that everything they did was not for personal gain. Those powerhouses who died in the catacombs did not even dare to reveal the information of their deaths. Axe King Shinkaiwen was still on the list to this day. They dared not let a rank 9 die. Over the years, the government would not even hold public memorial services for those who had died in the catacombs, even for those who had died in battle. On the military department side, when a large number of soldiers died in battle, the reply given to their families was usually that they had participated in the border battle. Maybe it's time for everyone to obtain the glory that belongs to them. Humanity's heroes who died in the catacombs had died in secret. After all, it still made some people feel bitterly disappointed. Zhang Tao thought of many things. For a moment, he was a little distracted. At the same time, Magic City. When they saw the densely packed group of people in the air, when they saw the golden rays shining in the void, the whole of Magic City fell into silence. Then there was some panic. Indeed, Fong Ping did not steal the spotlight. He did not want to either. He had enjoyed enough glory. There was no need for this. If it was possible, he wanted the people who sacrificed themselves to be known by the public. They died in the catacombs, and no one knew. Now, everyone only saw the glory of martial artists. Did they know how many martial artists died in the catacombs? However, Fong Ping knew that now was not the time. Now, he could only let everyone see the strength of martial artists slowly and see the victory of martial artists. This was what MCMEU should do. The dead could only be forgotten. Looking at the students' suppressed excitement and joy, looking at the instructors' solemn faces as if they were participating in a war, Fong Ping suddenly chuckled. You're all secretly happy in your heart, but you have to pretend that you don't care. Baldy, isn't it interesting? Qin Fengqing pursed his lips. You're not filming me. What's so interesting about it? Thousands of martial artists kept circling in the sky, circling the city. Below, the crowd's necks were sore from watching, but there were still countless people who kept looking up. As they watched, some people broke into tears. Others asked, but they did not say a word. Some people's children disappeared. Some people's fathers disappeared. These people could see the situation high up in the sky. Naturally, they were also martial artists. As martial artists, they naturally understood what it meant for those few people to be missing. They died in the catacombs. At this moment, some people were happy and some people were crying. As for the strength of martial artists, the strength of MCMEU, the conquest of the evil sect, this news spread far and wide. Fong Ping had always thought that the evil sect was used by the world's powerhouses to throw the blame. Reality proved that it was indeed so. This time, the evil sect martial artists became the target of everyone's hatred once again. MCMU mobilized so many powerhouses to encircle and annihilate the evil sect. It must have been because the evil sect had done something evil. Otherwise, why would those young martial artists go on a conquest of the evil sect? After circling the city, deafening cheers sounded in MCMU's direction very quickly. They were back. The teachers and students who stayed behind were wild with joy. This time, Qin Fengqing still wanted to shout, but Fong Ping choked him, not giving him a chance. Glory belonged to these young people. He was already a grandmaster, so he did not need to care too much. Besides, it was rare for him to have the opportunity to choke someone else. Fong Ping still felt very good. Please remember this book's domain name. Mobile version website. Chapter 635. A proper day of leave. His condition had deteriorated greatly over the past few days. He wanted to let old Eagle sober up, rest, and organize his thoughts. He didn't want to take leave at first, so he forced himself to do 3 or 1 chapter. He didn't want to break his record, but his condition had indeed deteriorated too much. So he wanted to relax today and breathe in some fresh air. That's all I said. Let's work slowly and steadily. If you suck me dry, I won't be able to suck any more in the future. Thank you, brothers, for your understanding. Global High Martial Arts will take a day off to sober up. Currently typing. Please wait a moment. After the content has been updated, please refresh the page to receive the latest update. Chapter 636. On the 20th of August, MCMU's instructors and students returned with the momentum of a great victory. MCMU was immersed in a sea of joy. Such joy did not last long. On August 22nd, the bodies of the dead were buried. This time, the government attached great importance to it. The ministers of the three ministries arrived to preside over the burial ceremony. This time, all the heroes who had died in battle were buried in MCMU's Southern Cemetery. In South Side, the cries traveled far. In a huge warehouse in the southern area, Fong Ping was refining energy crystals. Next, the South District would have to be rebuilt, and the mineral veins would have to be set up. In order to seal off the leakage of energy and prevent it from overflowing, a large number of energy crystal bricks would be laid underground. Beside him, Old Man Li was drinking wine as he said with a smile, "Old Wu asked you to host. Why are you chickening out this time?" "I'm busy. I'm refining energy crystals. It's fine to delay it for a few days." "You're so annoying. Can you stop harassing me?" Fong Ping's face was full of impatience. He tossed away an energy crystal and looked at him. "Why aren't you going?" "Why would I go? Hearing people cry makes me uncomfortable, so I'll hide and enjoy some peace." "You didn't pay your respects to IU?" Old Man Li's gaze was hostile. Fong Ping pursed his lips. "If you're looking for trouble with me, then I'll look for trouble with you. Why are you glaring at me?" "IU," Old Man Li mumbled, then suddenly laughed. "Actually, it's been 40 years. I've long forgotten what IU looks like. What did he know at that age? He just had a good impression of her, and then she died in battle. He felt terrible and kept saying that he would take revenge for her. How many years had it been? Now that he thought about it, he really couldn't remember what she looked like. But that was also the motivation when I was young. I kept thinking about this matter. In the end, it wasn't just for this person, but for this obsession. Why are you explaining so much to me?" "I didn't say anything. Actually, I still want to say that since the war hasn't stopped, death is inevitable." "I know," Fong Ping continued. "I just don't want to go. It's fine as long as the Vice-Chancellor and the others are there." "You," Old Man Li chuckled. "You talk big, but deep down you're still weak. You're the weak one," Fong Ping retorted. "If you're not weak, why would you hide from Mayor Nan? Isn't he just 30 years older than you? At rank 8 and rank 9? Would he still care about this? Look at how scared you are. You don't even dare to look at him." Old Man Li's expression was dark as he cursed under his breath. Then he continued to curse, "Huang Jing and Wu Chuan. Those two old things. I'll hack them to death sooner or later. Are you blind?" Nan Yunhua looked at me as if she wanted to kill me. Would I dare to stick my head out? This old lady is about to reach the peak. Do I dare to provoke her? Fong Ping glanced at him and said in a low voice, "Take it easy. Minister Zhang loves to eavesdrop. Maybe he'll pass on the message to Mayor Nan. I'm not even 100 years old. I'm still young, yet you call me old granny. No matter how old a woman is, she still cares about this." Old Man Li was speechless. He gestured in the direction of the cemetery and said, "Minister, don't mess with me. I'm in a lot of trouble now." Elder Nan is quite a nice person. At this moment, Zhang Tao's words rang in their ears. Old Man Li and Fong Ping's faces darkened. He was really eavesdropping. "The funeral is over. Don't hide anymore. Come out and come to the meeting hall." After saying those words, Zhang Tao's voice disappeared. Old Man Li cursed in a low voice. Where did Zhang Tao get this hobby from? Just because his mentality was strong, he eavesdropped on these things all day long. Was he not embarrassed? After cursing for a while, the two of them walked toward the meeting hall. Meeting hall. At this moment, MCMU powerhouses who were peak rank 6 and above were all present. Zhang Tao, Nan Yunhua, and the others were there too. Li Jun had something to do and had already left. Seeing the two of them enter, Zhang Tao glanced at them and said lightly, "What are you hiding for? Once the war starts, things like this will happen more often in the future. Do you think you can hide every time?" "Right, Guoxian. Before he left, he asked me to tell you that he doesn't hate you. He's also a military martial artist. He knows that people will die in a war. His younger brother died in the catacombs. He can't blame you." Fong Ping said calmly, "I'm not hiding. I just don't want to be disturbed. The old vice-chancellor used to do this. He often sent his students' ashes back. Every time he did it, he felt terrible. Every time he did it, he felt terrible. In the end, he felt that he had let everyone down and entered the catacombs with the determination to die. I don't want to die, and I don't want to affect myself. That's why I don't want to be hated. Fong Ping was the one who brought up the war this time. Family members might not know about it. However, if there were martial artists in the family, they would definitely know. Whether they hated Fong Ping or not depended on the person. No matter how great MCMU's achievements were or how much praise they received from society, they could not save the lives of those who died in the war. The old vice-chancellor was respected by many. When he died, he was all alone and had nothing. Even so, there were still many students and instructors' families who hated him. Fong Ping did not continue this topic. He found a seat and sat down. Zhang Tao saw this and did not mention it again. Nan Yunyue, on the other hand, glanced at old man Li, then glanced at the trembling Huang Jing. She humphed, her expression unfriendly. I'm almost 100 years old. You bastards, how dare you introduce Li Chongqing to me? If it wasn't for the fact that it was inconvenient for me to do it, I'd kill you right now. And this Li Chongqing guy, how dare he have designs on her? Did he not want to live anymore? Old man Li's expression was dark. He quietly found a corner and sat down. I won't have designs on you. I'm innocent too. Who would want an old lady like you? You're almost 100 years old, and you're still thinking of robbing the cradle? Zhang Tao glanced at them and could not help but laugh. He quickly put on a straight face and said, Fong Ping, I heard that you want to split 20% of the war spoils this time? Yes. Fong Ping answered and explained, the more you give, the more you get. This is how a martial artist should be. I don't have the right to contribute selflessly now, nor do I have the right to. Those who don't know might think that I'm trying to buy people's hearts and seize power. In reality, that's what you're doing. Zhang Tao glanced at him and interrupted him directly. He quickly said, you want to bury the mineral resources underground? Yes. And you want our mentality to solidify energy crystals to prevent the energy from escaping. Fong Ping heard this, and his eyes moved. He immediately said, this is MCMU's matter and also the Education Ministry's matter. If the minister is not willing, then pretend I didn't say anything. In short, he did not want to bleed. When old Zhang mentioned this, he felt that it was unreliable and immediately dismissed the idea. Zhang Tao said calmly, of course I will contribute to MCMAU's matter. However, since you want a third of the mineral vein, then your piece, including the land occupation fees and other expenses. Fong Ping's expression was extremely dark. You want to rip me off again? Wishful thinking. He even wanted to collect land occupation fees from him. Before old Zhang became a martial artist, he must have been a local tycoon, right? Fong Ping cursed in his heart and said immediately, then I won't bury it underground. I'll just cut it into energy stones. Zhang Tao saw that he was not taking the bait and felt slightly regretful. He said, in this battle, the Scholar Tree King, the Bamboo King, and the Green Wolf King, the three peerless powerhouses, are all very dissatisfied. I've also asked Warlord to help you hold the line. Fong Ping's head hurt. He said in distress, don't always pick on me. You've already taken 70% of the mineral vein, and you still have to look for me. Do you think it's easy for me? I've only taken 20% of the remaining 30%. In total, it's only 6%, not even 10%. Moreover, if I bury it underground, everyone can still borrow my energy to cultivate. Minister, if I really cut it all, then there'll be nothing left. Zhang Tao said with a faint smile. Then what about the ones you dug out earlier? MCMU didn't register them either. Fong Ping said with a blank expression. What? Anyway, I didn't dig them out. Zhang Tao was mentally exhausted. Forget it. It's the same even if they're in this kid's hands. Sooner or later, they'll be dug out. I have no objections if you want to apply for 20% of the spoils. However, I still have to warn you. The battle is over, and now it's the digestion period. MCMU will be in a period of rapid development. At this time, don't cause trouble for me. The government is preparing for the final battle in the Forbidden Catacombs. There are many things to do. In this year, first it was the opening of the Nanjiang Catacombs, followed by the Tian'an Catacombs War, Capital City Catacombs Chaos, Magic City Catacombs Chaos, King Battleground Chaos. Although things are developing in a good direction, it's still giving us a headache. Fong Ping, you'd better stay in MCMU for now. Don't run around and ruin things. When the Forbidden Catacombs are destroyed, it'll be much easier for us. Fong Ping thought for a while and nodded. I understand. We can't provoke the apex at this juncture. Otherwise, you might not have time to care about me. Is that what you're saying? Zhang Tao was speechless. You're a rank 7 martial artist. Why do you always want to provoke the apex? How many times has this happened? You've provoked a bunch at the King Battleground. Here in Magic City too. He did not know what to say now. He could not be bothered to say anything more. He stood up and said, it's better to do it sooner rather than later. Let's settle the matter of the mineral vein as soon as possible. I'll be leaving Magic City next. Also, if you're going to Star City, remember to let me know in advance. I'll ask Wang Qinghai to accompany you. Don't go alone. At this point, Zhang Tao said, Yang Qing from the Yang family hasn't left the King Battleground. He might have fallen inside. Fong Ping said with a look of realization, I almost forgot. He's fallen. Ji Yao and the others killed him. He had forgotten to mention this. Seeing Zhang Tao looking at him, Fong Ping shrugged and said, I promise, I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. If I really killed him, I won't even bother to talk about it now. That day when Yang Qing crossed the boundary, he was still stuck in the boundary wall and happened to meet Ji Yao and the others. Ji Yao's group of people had easily killed him. I'm also his benefactor. That crocodile, Bidwa, killed him. I avenged him and killed Crocodile Bidwa. Minister, he's just a rank 7 martial artist. I don't really care about him. Beside him, Lu Fengru looked at him. Tang Feng looked at him. Old Huang also looked at him. What did he mean? You're just a rank 7 martial artist. You're really arrogant. Everyone believed Fong Ping when he said he did not do it. If he really did it, this kid was so evil that he would not even mention it. Of course, Zhang Tao did not mention this. He probably would not say it either. Maybe he really forgot. Obviously, Yang Qing was insignificant in his eyes. Zhang Tao only knew now that Yang Qing was really dead. After thinking for a while, he said, since you didn't mention this before, then let's pretend it didn't happen. He died in the hands of the catacombs martial artists. This is fate. Let's settle the mineral vein first. I still have a lot of things to do. I don't have time to waste here. Old Zhang was very busy. Before he left, Fong Ping and the others were also anxious to settle the matter. On that day, Fong Ping and the others mobilized all the teachers and students in the school to move everything that could be moved from the southern area. Then, Old Zhang displayed his great strength again. He directly uprooted some of the tall buildings in the southern area and moved them aside. As for the mineral vein, it was now placed in Magic City's military zone. Old Zhang went back and forth between the two places. He cut a long section of the mineral vein essence and filled it under MCMAU. The underground was also sealed by a large number of energy crystals. After that, Zhang Tao expended a large amount of mentality and began to solidify those energy crystals. On one hand, it was to prevent a large amount of energy from overflowing. On the other hand, it was also for anti-theft purposes. Most people could not break into the solidified place at the apex. Zhang Tao also expended a lot of energy this time. Fong Ping had almost never seen someone overdraft like this. It was the first time he saw signs of old Zhang's face turning pale because of the large-scale solidification of energy crystals. He was slightly exhausted. Although Zhang Tao was a bit of a scammer, he was still reliable in critical moments. After spending a day, the matter of the mineral vein was finally settled. As for Fong Ping's own small section of the mineral vein, Fong Ping also cut it apart. He did not put it together with the big mineral vein, but placed it separately. Not only that, others were rebuilding the southern area. As for Fong Ping, he began to use a large number of energy crystals to build his own crystal palace. At this moment, Qin Fengqing and the others were so envious that their eyes were red. He had a small section of the mineral vein to himself. Moreover, Fong Ping built the mineral vein and his crystal palace as one. In the crystal palace, all the energy could be gathered without leaking. It could be said that in the whole of MCMU, Fong Ping's crystal palace was the one with the richest energy. Not only that, other than the core mineral vein, Fong Ping filled his own small section of the energy stones, including the high-ranked ones from before and the low-ranked ones from later excavations. As a result, the energy in the Crystal Palace was so rich that it was about to liquefy. Qin Fengqing and the others took a look. None of them wanted to leave. Even though the house was not completed, most of them stayed there, unwilling to leave no matter what. As for Fong Ping, he did not have time to care about them. These fellows were not bad laborers. After handing over the task of perfecting the Crystal Palace to them, Fong Ping began to take inventory of his gains. This time, he had gained a lot from the battle with Sky Gate City. The remains of the Sky Gate tree, about 100 caddies of energy crystals, and trillions of energy stones. As for the rest of the distribution, Fong Ping did not want any of them. He exchanged them for energy stones in exchange for this section of the mineral vein. Zhang Tao approved of his distribution plan. Fong Ping's wealth had also increased by a large amount. Wealth, 250 million points vitality, 17,100 calories, 17,158 calories, mentality, 2,100 hertz, 2,149 hertz, destructive power. Bones honed, 177 bones, 100%, 29 bones, 90%, storage space, 100 cubic meters, plus, energy shield, 1 point/minute, plus, aura simulation, 10 points/minute, plus, 2.5 trillion. At the end of this battle, Fong Ping's spoils were close to an astronomical figure of 2.5 trillion. He had privately dug out close to 600 billion energy stones. According to the distribution plan, the school had given him close to 2 trillion energy stones. In addition, there were the remains of the Sky Gate tree and 100 caddies of life essence. Logically, the total value was close to exceeding 3 trillion. However, the system estimated that there were some discounts. Some things were not calculated that much. Even so, Fong Ping had become rich overnight. Compared to before he set off, his wealth had doubled. Before the battle, his wealth had peaked at less than 130 million. Not only did his wealth increase, Fong Ping realized that he now had a shocking amount of good stuff on hand. He still had a few divine weapons. He still had a few accessories that could block mentality. The remains of the Sky Gate tree meant that it was a rank 9 divine weapon. On top of that, there were countless energy stones. At this time, Fong Ping finally did not feel the pinch. Previously, he had almost gone bankrupt. His heart was in so much pain. This time, Fong Ping had money. He was no longer reluctant to spend it. His storage space was still too small. Previously, he had been reluctant to expand it. This time, the remains of the Sky Gate tree were carried back by everyone. Expanding it by 1 cubic meter according to his current points was only 50,000 points. It was peanuts. Fong Ping was not careless. This time, he expanded his storage space by 1,000 cubic meters. He spent 45 million wealth points. However, Fong Ping felt that it was worth it. With such a large storage space, it was almost enough to store a complete rank 9 monster plant corpse in the future. A rank 9 monster beast was not a problem. He had come into contact with many rank 9s now. Fong Ping felt that it would not be too long before he could store a rank 9 corpse. Fong Ping used the remaining 5 million wealth points to repair the materialized object. Last time, the materialized object was almost destroyed by a rank 8 powerhouse. He did not have enough wealth points to repair it. Now he had money. When Fong Ping was done with these, it was almost the end of August. At this time, MCMU new students had begun to arrive one after another. They were arranged to stay in the Magic Marshall Hotel. The school had also begun to prepare to welcome new students. This batch of new students was the most in all the years. More than 5,000 people. Almost everyone was a martial artist. Before the new students arrived, Fong Ping called the Martial Arts Association again. The ranking must be updated at the end of August. MCMU wanted to welcome the new students in the most powerful manner. He wanted to let all the new students know that MCMU was terrifyingly powerful. And he, Fong Ping, was also terrifyingly powerful. This time, the one who answered the phone was Vice President Liu. Fong Ping did not mince words. If the ranking was not updated by the end of August, he would go and collect the debt. He would ask all the grandmasters in MCMU to collect the debt together. If President Liu could afford the 50 billion IOU, then he could consider not updating the ranking. Martial Arts Association. President Liu let out a long sigh. I've fallen into a trap. The last time he quoted 50 billion, he did not spend a single cent and got a divine weapon. As expected, there was no such thing as a free lunch in this world. The key point was that Fong Ping, that kid, was frighteningly scary now. He had killed a rank 8 with a saber. He was really no match for him. Moreover, the other party was petty. Since rank 5 until now, he had been pestering the Martial Arts Association. If he did not satisfy the other party this time, he was worried that it would be very dangerous when he went out in the future. Therefore, before school started, on the 28th of August, the Martial Arts Association updated the ranking again. This time, the change in the ranking was surprising, but not surprising. MCMU had annihilated Sky Gate City. Their outstanding military service deserved this kind of treatment and change. Besides the battle in Tiannan, it had been many years since such a big event had happened. Chapter 637. On August 28th, the Guru list was updated. It had only been less than a month since the update on August 1st, but there had been a huge change in the rankings. McMao, Southern District, in the half-built Crystal Palace. The Crystal Palace that Fong Ping had built had no other distinguishing feature except for one thing. It was tall, extremely high. Everyone suggested that he change his name to Crystal Tower. At this moment, on the top of the tower, Fong Ping held a list in his hand and laughed out loud. The Martial Arts Association is finally afraid. I knew you wouldn't dare to fool me this time. At this moment, the people beside him couldn't help but glance at him, all of them speechless. The crystal pagoda that Fong Ping built had a spire. Below the spire was a platform. At this moment, Fong Ping alone occupied the top of the tower. The rest of them could only stand on the platform at the side, which made them look shorter. Everyone was too lazy to say anything about Fong Ping's bad taste. Of course, the so-called crowd referred to 3 people, Li Hansong, Qin Fengqing, and Qin Yunxi. This time, Old Wang and Old Yao had obtained a lot of contribution points and exchanged them for a lot of good things. They had long since returned to their lair. Among the 3 of them now, Qin Yunxi did not feel anything, Li Hansong was indifferent, and Qin Fengqing was still waiting for Fong Ping to elevate his rank. Although he had criticized them countless times in his heart, his face was full of smiles. Hence, the atmosphere at the top of the pagoda was extremely harmonious. No one was surprised by Fong Ping's laughter. At this time, everyone was holding the new list in their hands. Among them, the 7th-level Grandmaster list had changed a lot. Fong Ping, 3rd in rank 7. There was no first place because the rank 8 that Fong Ping had killed was not his contribution alone. That was why even though he had killed a rank 8, he was still unable to become the number 1 rank 7. However, being ranked 3rd among rank 7 was a remarkable achievement. He had suppressed many peak rank 7 powerhouses. Peak rank 7 Lu Polu was only ranked 13th at the moment. Huang Jing, who was about to step into peak rank 7, had previously consumed the Heavenly Golden Lotus and his mentality had entered 3000 Hz recently. He had been honing his skull and was only ranked 75th. Fong Ping, on the other hand, had surpassed everyone in one fell swoop and became the 3rd rank 7. Naturally, he had reason to be happy. Other than the ranking, the most important thing was that Fong Ping's title had finally changed after all his hard work. Title: Devil, just one word. It was a meaningful word. What kind of devil was a devil? MCMU's devil? The devil of demons? Crazy demon? Everyone had witnessed Fong Ping's prowess. The Martial Arts Association, including some experts, actually gave 3 words: demon, demon, and crazy. The reason why it gave a single word name was actually prepared for Fong Ping when he reached rank 8. Only the 8th rank could be called a king. Initially, Fong Ping was a freak. Everyone thought that freak was more suitable for him. But when they thought of the Demon King, they gave up on the idea. Fong Ping's craziness could not compare to his devilish nature. In many people's eyes, Fong Ping was indeed somewhat devilish. His rise was too fast, so fast that no one could keep up. Moreover, this fellow was a madman. There was no way to live without madness. Fong Ping took risks again and again, created major incidents time and time again, and pulled chestnuts out of the fire time and time again. A person like him could be called a maniac. On top of that, he was from MCMAU. In the end, the Martial Arts Association decided on a new title. This was also the martial artist who had changed the most titles so far. It also had something to do with Fong Ping's own style. It had always been ever-changing, so it was hard to pinpoint it. Now, the word devil, no matter how Fong Ping changed, could always be summed up with this word. Devil King Fong Ping. Not bad. Fong Ping roared with laughter. I am the Demon King, the king of demons and ghosts, the king of MCMAU, the great devil lord feared by everyone in the catacombs. One day, when I kill a true king, I want to have 2 titles. I'll be the great Demon King. Fong Ping laughed out loud. In the eyes of the catacombs martial artists, the Devil King was the hero of mankind. The only person with 2 titles in China was the Heavenly King Jin Wang. Heavenly King subduing could even suppress the heavens. But could he suppress a great demon king like him? Qin Fengqing mumbled, Demon. Where is there a king? Rubik's Cube. Your king character is still too early. Fong Ping turned his head to look at him. His gaze was unfriendly as he said viciously, I'll give you a chance to turn over a new leaf. Qin Fengqing pursed his lips, but he still chuckled and said, Congratulations, Demon King, for entering the 3rd rank of 7th rank. Actually, he still wanted to beat up the 2 presidents of the Martial Arts Association. With the demeanor of the Demon King, he would definitely get 1st place. 1st place? What the hell? Is the commander of the Northern Frontier Military Region comparable to you? The Demon King? 2nd place is the same. Donglin's governor is actually ranked 2nd, higher than you. There's no justice in this world. Has he killed a rank 8 before? Has he killed 7 rank 7s in one battle? Has he killed a double-digit number of rank 7s? What about you, Fong Ping? You've killed a double-digit number of rank 7s. In terms of strength, how could they be your opponent? It's only because they're older that they gave them some face. After all, they're people who are about to achieve rank 8. That's why you're ranked 3rd. Qin Fengqing was full of praise. As he praised, he said, Don't talk about being the 1st in rank 7. Even if it's the 1st in rank 8, not far away. Old Man Li flashed past like the wind. Qin Fengqing shut his mouth immediately. Forget it. The 1st in rank 8 was this old man. He was very scary. Fong Ping was still too inexperienced to snatch the 1st place in rank 8. He dared not say it either. Recently, there was a bad atmosphere in MCMAU. The Grandmasters liked to eavesdrop on other people's conversations. Was there any privacy in this broken school? He heard that 2 days ago, a rank 9 powerhouse went to reunite with his ex-wife and was eavesdropped by 5 or 6 mentalities. He was so angry that he swore to kill a few of them. The current MCMU was no longer the MCMAU of the past. If he said bad things about Old Li now, he might be hung at the school gate tomorrow. Qin Fengqing did not say anything else. Fong Ping smiled reservedly and said, Don't talk nonsense. Northern Borderline King Commander and Donglin's Governor Zhao. These 2 are also top-notch rank 7 powerhouses. In the past, Old Chen was the 1st rank 7, and these 2 were 2nd and 3rd. Now he was only 1 step away from rank 8. Compared to them, I'm still lacking. Qin Fengqing was too lazy to say anything else. Fong Ping looked at Li Hansong again and said, Iron Head isn't bad either. He's ranked 182 among the rank 7 martial artists. It's not bad that he's ranked so high when he just entered rank 7. After saying that, he added, it's just that the title isn't too good. He doesn't even have Iron Fist anymore. He's directly turned into Vajra. Fong Ping sighed. You're going to call yourself a king in the future. King Vajra? King Kong? Always felt like a gorilla. Also, when you reach the impasse, maybe you won't be given a double title. Are you going to change it to Golden King? King of Steel? Or Iron King? Fong Ping felt sorry for Li Hansong for a while. Li Hansong laughed foolishly, but in his heart, he was thinking if he should find a chance to beat up President Liu and the rest. Old Wang was still the best. He still had the same title, God of Bloody War. With the 2 words God of War, this was awesome. Ironhead felt that Old Wang must have beaten them up in private. Otherwise, Old Wang's battle record was not that strong. Why would he give Old Wang that title? As for Old Yao, his title was also pretty awesome. God-splitting spear. Yao Qingjuan's spear could destroy mentality. The saying of God splitting was true to its name. At this moment, a few of them had entered the rank 7 ranking list, but none of them entered the top 100. On the rank 8 ranking list, Old Man Li was still number 1. On the rank 9 ranking list, Wu Quishan only entered rank 9 at the beginning of June. Now it was the end of August, but he was advancing 1 step a day. On the ranking list again, Snake King Wu Quishan was ranked 18 among the rank 9 martial artists. Second only to Dragon King Lin Long. Dragon King 17. Snake King 18. The rankings between these two were next to each other. Perhaps soon, Snake King would surpass Dragon King, surpassing the dragon. After looking at the ranking list, Fong Ping was still extremely satisfied. As for why he did not get first place among the rank 7, there were many reasons. On one hand, his rank was too low. On the other hand, it was related to his age. Moreover, Fong Ping's battle record of killing rank 7s was not too outstanding. Among the rank 7s he killed, the only peak rank 7 who had honed his skull only had 3 to 5 bones. A real peak rank 7 might have honed as many as 25 bones. Such a powerhouse had also been killed by rank 7s before. As for killing rank 8s, that did not count. With the help of many rank 7s, Fong Ping made a rank 8s lie down and let him hack them. Hacking them to death did not mean that Fong Ping's ability was out of this world. Giving him third place was also considered a well-deserved title. Even so, Fong Ping was still very satisfied. The key was that the title had changed. The word general was finally gone. This time, if there was another devil general, he was also prepared to hack people. MCMEU is getting stronger and stronger. Fong Ping sighed and chuckled. Qin Fengqing is not bad too. This time, he actually entered the rank 6 ranking list. With the ability of an early stage rank 6, ranking 99th rank 6 is already very good. Qin Fengqing pursed his lips and pretended not to hear. 99th? Who cared? Fong Ping said again, it's a pity that I didn't give you a title. Otherwise, I think Baldy King is not bad. Cough, cough. Qin Fengqing coughed dryly and interrupted. We'll talk about this later. Fong Ping, let's double. Fong Ping's gaze was sharp. Beside him, Chen Yunxi glanced at the two of them curiously. Chen Yunxi, who had killed countless people on the battlefield previously, had once again returned to the state of an ignorant little girl here. She asked curiously, double what? Fong Ping chuckled. Both of us gained something. Our luck is not bad. Yunxi, you're almost middle stage rank 5, right? Yes. Chen Yunxi heard that and said happily, my 6 viscera honing is almost complete. Fong Ping cultivating here is really too fast. However, this crystal pagoda is too simple. Fong Ping, do you want me to help you decorate it? Fong Ping's crystal pagoda was currently not open to many people. The crystal pagoda had 9 floors. Each floor was about 50 square meters. The place was not too big. Even so, it had consumed more than half of the school's energy crystals. There were 9 floors. The higher the floor, the weaker the energy. The best place to cultivate was in fact the first floor. However, Fong Ping liked to sit on the top of the pagoda and watch the clouds rise and fall. These were Fong Ping's original words. In reality, everyone was not stupid. They all knew that he was acting cool. The crystal pagoda was about 30 meters tall. It was not the tallest building in the school. It was slightly lower than the school archives. However, the school archives was outside the southern area. This crystal pagoda was currently the tallest building in the southern area. If it were any other place, Fong Ping would be arrogant if he built such a tall building. He would not even pay attention to the vice-chancellor. In MCMAU, there were not many people who cared about him. Wu Quishan could not be bothered. He did not care how high he built it. Anyway, when he came to look for Fong Ping, he would not enter the door. He would come using flight step. Sure, up to you. Fong Ping had no objections. He said, "It's enough for you to cultivate on the third floor. The energy in the lower two floors is too rich. When you break through middle stage and want to hone your meridians in flesh, you can go down a little. As for you guys," Fong Ping looked at Qin Fengqing and Ironhead and said, "You guys can go underground to cultivate. If Ironhead goes, he can do it for free. This is the benefit of grandmasters." As for Qin Fengqing, Fong Ping looked at Qin Fengqing. Seeing the longing on his face, he smiled and said, "When you break through to grandmaster, you can cultivate for free too. Before you break through, 10 million for a day of cultivation. It's not much." Qin Fengqing nodded hurriedly. He had no objections. He would owe it for now. Master Qin had no money at the moment. As for this time, he had obtained 150,000 merit points. Theoretically, it was worth a lot. However, he had used it to exchange for a chance to improve. It was equivalent to gaining nothing this time. He had only obtained some energy stones, which were almost spent recently. Fong Ping did not continue talking about this. Chun Yunxi asked, Yuan called me yesterday. She asked when you're going back." "I'm not going back." Fong Ping shook his head. "I still have a lot of things to do. I'll go back after I'm done." "Okay, then Yuan's enrollment this time." Fong Ping heard this and laughed. "Treat everyone the same. Do what needs to be done. Of course, she can go to the 9th floor to cultivate here." "About the catacombs, should we lock her down?" Fong Ping thought for a moment and said, "No need. Since she insists on entering MCMEU, she'll attend whatever classes everyone else attends. Also, I've already discussed it with the Vice-Chancellor. MCMU will rear some monsters in captivity. Low-rank monsters. In the future, the southern area will build a monster combat room. Actual combat will no longer be limited to humans. It will include battles against monsters. Low-rank monsters have no intelligence at all. They only know how to kill. Monsters are stronger than martial artists. If they can kill monsters, they can kill catacombs martial artists. Not only that, this time when we took down Skygate City, we harvested a lot of herbs and seeds. In the past, it was difficult for us to plant them because of the lack of energy. Now that there's a mineral vein underground in the southern area, we don't lack energy anymore. We'll try to plant these treasures in the future and cultivate MCMU's herb garden. This includes the 100 honing fruit. It didn't grow when we transplanted it last time. This time, I transplanted its roots into the core area of the mineral vein. Maybe it can grow. Fong Ping sighed. If we can get a lot of 100 honing fruits, honing the internal organs will be easy. In the 3 lower ranks, the rich energy and pills can help everyone hone quickly. In the 3 middle ranks, rank 4 and 5 can use the 100 honing fruit, meridian molding flower, and other energy plants to speed up honing. I believe that MCMEU will enter the era of all middle ranks soon. Everyone's faces were full of joy. Qin Fengqing rejoiced for a while, then said bitterly, "Fong Ping, it's the 28th?" Since returning on the 20th, he had been a little impatient. In the end, Fong Ping was busy with this and that. He had not even started dual cultivation yet. Fong Ping glanced at him, feeling a little helpless. What was this guy in such a hurry for? Although he felt that this guy was a hindrance, Fong Ping had no intention of going back on his word since he had promised. Now that he had entered middle stage rank 7, his strength had increased greatly. Compared to the past, the speed at which he could seal the door would also increase exponentially. It was too easy for a rank 7 martial artist to help a rank 6 martial artist seal the door. Fong Ping even began to consider whether he should help others on a large scale. However, after some thought, he gave up on the idea. If he really displayed such an ability, Fong Ping guaranteed that even Zhang Tao would send him countless rank 6 martial artists to help him seal the door. Then he would not be able to do anything else in the future. Moreover, that would also consume wealth? Okay, I'll help you later. As Fong Ping said this, beside him, Li Hansong also said, Fong Ping, I have something to tell you. The few of them were all at the top of the tower today, not just to watch Fong Ping show off. Hearing that, Fong Ping nodded slightly, glanced at Qin Yunxi and Li Hansong, and said, You guys go ahead first, I'll have a chat with Iron Head. There's still something in my life gate that I can't take out. Li Hansong waited for them to leave, scratching his head, saying, When I broke through, the divine armor jumped out. I saw something inside, but it seems to be very far away. Deep inside the door, I can't get it. Fong Ping, do you have a way to help me get it? I don't think so. Fong Ping shook his head, saying, This still depends on you. When you're strong enough, it shouldn't be a problem. Is that a storage ring deep inside the door? I'm quite interested in this stuff now. It should be. Fong Ping was also not sure, saying casually, and then said, Don't panic about this. It's okay if there's none. After school starts this time, are you interested in making a trip to Star Town? In the past, we haven't reached high ranks, but now we're all here. Star Town has invited us a few times before. Do you want to go and take a look? Li Hansong chuckled, saying, Sure, I want to go to Star Town to take a look too. I've always heard that there are resurrected martial artists in Star Town, but I've only heard of them, never seen them. This time, it'll be good to go and take a look. Maybe I can even find my lost brothers. Fong Ping denied, saying, It's hard to say. Actually, the resurrected ancient martial artists might not be the same batch. Fong Ping guessed. Star Town has long gathered a large number of resurrected martial artists. The people in Star Town might know the origins of this batch of ancient martial artists. But the few of us, the other party, might not know. Minister Zhang also said that we're a little different from them. Zhang Chao also said that among the resurrected martial artists in Star Town, many of their cultivation speed is actually not fast. The fast ones are only around rank 8 now. I don't think there are any rank 9. Iron Head, do you think rank 9 is a shackle for us? Li Hansong said confidently, Of course not. Before we were resurrected, we were at least in the impasse realm. Not to mention the absolute peak, I think rank 9 is not difficult. Having said that, he added, You're definitely above the absolute peak. Oh, right. Can your imperishable substance still be restored? Previously, when Fong Ping had released so much imperishable substance, even he was shocked. Not to mention, Fong Ping was so extravagant that he even used imperishable substance to build the materialized object. That day, everyone had seen his materialized object. It was also because they were all his own people that no one spread the news. If outsiders had seen it, they might have already caused a huge uproar. Using imperishable substance to build a materialized object. How extravagant. I should be able to. Fong Ping laughed, thought for a while, and said, Then after school starts and settle the school's matters, let's go to Star Town together to take a look. Okay. After Fong Ping finished talking, the news that he had ascended to the 3rd place on the rank 7 ranking list had also spread all over the world. At the end of July, Fong Ping broke through and entered rank 7. At the beginning of August, he entered the middle of the ranking list. At the end of August, a month after Fong Ping's breakthrough, he entered the top 3 of rank 7. The outside world was shocked. At the same time, some other news also shocked people. Fong Ping and his generation had really completely risen up. The 4 prodigies who were still participating in the student championship in 2009 had all broken through and become grandmasters. Among them, Nanjiang Wang Jinyang was officially NMU's honorary vice-chancellor. Similar to Lu Polu, he was not an official vice-chancellor. The official vice-chancellor was still the rank 6 vice-chancellor of NMAU. Even so, as the only grandmaster-level powerhouse in NMAU, Wang Jinyang also had the biggest say in NMU and officially began to lead NMAU. Yao Qingjun was the dean of FMS's Combat Finger School. Fong Ping was MCMAU's vice-chancellor. If Li Hansong was in CCMAU, he might have become a dean or vice-chancellor at this moment. However, in MCMAU, Li Hansong did not hold these positions, but was the deputy dean of the School of Weaponry. It was just a title. At this moment, MCMU School of Weaponry was full of powerhouses. Dean Li Chongsheng. There were 3 deputy deans, Lu Fengru, Tang Feng, and Li Hansong. There were 4 Grandmaster powerhouses in MCMAU's Combat Finger School. In MCMU's Combat Finger School, Luo Yichuan had already started his closed-door training. After this battle, he was not far from rank 7. MCMU spent resources to exchange for 3 stalks of dark moon grass for him. His breakthrough would only take a month or 2. Zhang Jinhong was no longer guarding the Magic City catacombs. She returned to the school as the deputy dean of the Combat Finger School and also started her closed-door training. He was also at the Mentality Vitality Unity realm. The older powerhouse, Su Gacheng, had also broken through to the Mentality Vitality Unity realm in this battle. This time, he was also digesting the benefits of the battle, and there was hope for rank 7. The others, such as Chun Jinhua and Hu Mingyi, had also started breaking through to the Mentality Vitality Unity realm. As for the peak rank 6 powerhouses, MCMU had 2 more people. For a moment, it seemed like in MCMAU, those who had not reached rank 7 were not qualified to be school leaders. Among the students, CLA had broken through and entered upper stage rank 5. This thrice-honed martial artist had suffered a huge blow in this battle. His girlfriend died in the catacombs. This made CLA completely silent, and he could not be seen in the school. He did not go to the catacombs. CLA spent all his merits and credits and chose to enter the core mineral vein area to cultivate. This time, he planned to finish honing his flesh and enter peak rank 5 before coming out of closed-door training. Otherwise, he would not come out of closed-door training. Fu Chongding, Zhao Shumei, Zhao Lei, and the others also entered the mineral vein to cultivate, preparing to enter rank 5. Instructor Song Yingji also had an unexpected game this time. He closed the second door and entered upper stage rank 6. He began to prepare for the new student's admission. Old Song decided that he must take Fong Yuan as his student. Not only did he take Fong Yuan, but he also wanted his daughter to be his student. Old Song was now calculating. That kid Fong Ping had a crystal pagoda that belonged to him, and the energy there was extremely rich. He did not give it to his sister to cultivate. If he gave it to his sister, not only was his daughter his sister's classmate, in the same sect, in the same class, the same age, they were also good friends. Under these circumstances, if Fong Yuan brought Song Yu along to cultivate, would Fong Ping have the nerve to not give it to her? That kid alone took 1/3 of the mineral vein. The school's 2/3 now had to satisfy thousands of students and instructors. How many people did he have on his side? Song Yu had just entered rank 1. No matter how much she absorbed, she would only absorb an insignificant amount of energy. Old Song was calculating. Little did he know that this batch of new student instructors was as smart as a ghost. There were at least 80 instructors who were calculating like this, if not 100. This kid Fong Ping was a real rich man. In the past, he did not show off his wealth. If he did, it would be gone soon. Now, it was a fixed mineral vein there. No one had any objections to giving this part of the mineral vein to Fong Ping. That was earned by Fong Ping's own merits. Moreover, giving Fong Ping the mineral vein and burying it under MCMAU, Fong Ping might not leave MCMAU for the rest of his life, unless he really wanted to leave and dig away the mineral vein. Otherwise, with that kid's personality, would he be willing to give this up and leave on his own? However, if Fong Ping was not rank 9, would he be able to dig away a peak-level solidified mineral vein? With these calculations in mind, the new student instructors of Year 10 were all rubbing their palms together. Each of them was full of gunpowder when they met. Even the recruitment signboard was ready. Female twice-honed martial artists only, below 18 years old, excluding 18 years old. This was still considered reliable. Some instructors who were not so reliable added a few sentences, as long as they have a small round face. It's best if their surname can be Fong, Now, the instructors were about to fight before the new semester had even begun. Fong Ping was completely unaware of all this. He could not do anything about Qin Fengqing. He could only take advantage of these 2 days to help him increase his rank. Increasing his rank was not a problem. The problem was that this guy was really disgusting. He kept moaning and yelling that it felt so good. His voice was especially loud. Both of them cultivated under the crystal tower. Chunyanshi was on the 3rd floor. She often stomped on the crystal tower. The crystal tower that had only been built for a few days almost had a big hole in the 3rd floor. You're tuning into the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.